All right, are we back live? Yes, we are. Mic check is up. What is going on, beautiful people? Oh man, I've been watching some Blue Games. That's his intro line. What is up, everybody? Good to see y'all. Welcome to another Saturday. Saturday? Wow. Man, first I'm talking like Blue. Now I'm thinking it's Saturday. Let's rewind. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another channel. I'm done. I'm all deaf for it. I can't speak. This is going to be an interesting stream. Anyway, good to see everybody in chat. Thank you for tuning in on this Thursday afternoon for another lovely BAE-146 live stream. Guys, this airplane, this stream, this is going to be for the hardcore viewers. I appreciate each and every one of you that is tuned in today because I know this airplane doesn't appeal to a lot of people or a lot of simmers. I feel like, at least that's just kind of my outside perspective. You know, when I fly this airplane, the views are typically lower. I don't see a lot of this airplane content on the YouTubes, and I just do not know why. This airplane is so fun to fly. It's a little quirky, but once you learn it, it's easy to learn, difficult to master. That's what I love about this airplane. Easy to learn, difficult to master. We're gonna take you guys for a nice flight up to Aspen, Colorado, here leaving Denver, the beautiful, I think we have Flight Beam Denver installed now, so we got smooth out those taxiways. So thank you all for tuning in. I hope you guys are ready for this one. It's going to be a challenge. I've had the pleasure of flying into Aspen multiple times, a couple times in a jet, corporate jet. We're going to do the Lope DME for the Circle 3-3, which is absolute just juice. All right, I actually sat on the jump seat of a Q400 going into Aspen on this very approach. So I'm going to try to do my best I can today to recreate that. This airport, the surrounding terrain presents its own set of challenges. We got high density altitude. You got to take performance into account, wind, all that good stuff. So I hope you guys are ready to pull up a seat and join me for this flight. It's going to be a short one. I think it's only about 100 and something miles. So it's going to be a short leg. If it goes real well, we may or may not do a second leg back to Denver, but that is to be determined. So good to see everybody. Lunar Pilot, I've been on that flight in real life many years ago. Awesome, man. Lunar Pilot, were you actually on one of these 146s? That's pretty sweet. Let me go ahead and get some catering to the airplane here because we're going to request catering. So like I said, these shorter flights, we're going to use LSG because they're the OGs. Because it is a shorter flight, we're going to take our time with the setup. I'm going to show you our route of flight. We're going to look, we have to, in order to fly this airplane properly, and even more so, and maybe properly is the wrong word, to fly this airplane efficiently, especially on a route like this. Oh, why is my speed brake open? Wow, that's interesting. I had my speed brake lever down, and when I pressurized, I did a hydraulic test earlier, look, it like cracked it open. That's pretty neat. So we need to have power up our hydraulics to close that speed brake door. But anyway, on this flight, to fly this airplane efficiently, you really need to stay ahead. So all that comes into play on the setup. We have to set up our flight. We're going to kind of briefly look at our approach before we even depart Denver, just because this flight is so short and there's a lot of things we can do to help make this be an efficient, successful flight into Aspen. Morgus, you fly this bird often? Good, man. I love it. This is the latest update, and I do want to point out that on my sensitivity settings, I use a TCA yoke for this airplane. With the latest update, I don't have any curves, no reactivity settings, nothing, and the airplane flies great. So just straight linear if you're using the Thrustmaster TCA Boeing yoke. I do have the yoke cam up today. We'll get that going here in a little bit. But yeah, I used to have a little bit of a curve and a little reactivity, but with the latest flight model update on this BAE, you don't need it. Just make it straight linear if you're using the Boeing yoke, and you're going to absolutely love it. Second flight with failures, chaos. So I think I'll make sure I turn the random failures on. We'll take a look here. Let's hop into the beautiful cockpit of the BAE-146. Brad K starting us out with 5 gifted subs. Brad K, thank you so much, man, for the gifted subs. I appreciate you. Guys, if you pick up a gifted sub, shout out to Brad K. Now, speaking of members, I do have a short video that it's processing right now. I'll be going to members only. Now, I may have an announcement when it comes to shorts videos. We may be going to we may be making those more exclusive to commercial members. We'll see. We'll talk about that later, but be expecting a new short video anyway from my last trip. Man, I worked a 2-day trip yesterday, the day before. It felt like a 3-4 day trip just because the second day I was in and out of hardcore thunderstorms all day long. Ended up being about 2.5, almost 3 hours late when we got back to our final destination. So it was a long day, but I do have some cool stuff I'll show you guys on the shorts video. So if you are a member, be looking forward to seeing that. Lola Pilot says it was out of the old Denver one day before the actual move to Denver. Oh, I see. Good deal, Lola Pilot. That's way back in the day. All right, so as Chaos said, I do want to make sure we put random failures on, and I do. So I love this. Guys, look at this. This is the latest update. This is the failures page now available on the 146. Look at all these failures. I don't know how many pages they have. I mean, 3 pages of failures. And since I'm not typing this airplane and I don't want to really screw myself here, I just have the random failures selected with probability to real. So it should be low theoretically, but that is the failures options that are available right now. We got all our doors open and everything good to go. So let's systematically get this airplane powered up. We're going to kind of make our way through the checklist here on the initialization. Then we'll start the boarding process and start on over to Aspen. All right. Captain Jake, absolutely it can be. It can be fun with the TCA stick, no doubt about it. All right, landing gear. Oop, I didn't mean to do that. Landing gear lever is down. Weather radar down at 15 degrees up. So we'll come over here. That is down at 15 up, which I already set. Air brake and flaps. This is up, but we have to pressurize to actually close that. Let's see. So we'll take that. No smoking signs. That's going to be up on the overhead. We're going to come over here and we're going to turn on the no smoking signs. We'll turn those on. Nav lights will go high position. Battery 1 and 2 both on and voltage check. Now we could use ground power, but we're actually just going to go right to the APU. Just makes it a little bit easier. We'll get some air going as well, and then we can talk about high density altitude. What are they waiting for? They want me to close the forward server door. All right, that's closed, and probably aft serve door because I think they're done. All right, battery 1 and 2 is on. Parking brake is yellow in park. I already verified that. Master switches, that's going to be up here. So yaw damper 1 and 2, autopilot, avionics master are all on. Ground ignition as required. That's in both. Anti-skid. Let's go ahead and turn that sucker on. We're going to definitely need that in Aspen. Lift spoilers, yellow and green. Something else we will also absolutely need. We'll close forward serve door. All right, close the wrong one. Close the forward cargo. Let me open aft cargo again. Our forward and aft cargo open and the service doors are closed. There we go. We got the right configuration now. Let's continue on. Rusty C. Let me get this powered up here, and then I'll get to that 2-pound dono, man. Appreciate you. Lift spoilers, yellow and green, are both on. AC and DC bus tie. So we're going to come down to our electrical page. AC and DC bus tie, and then we're going to go right over to the standby inverter and generator. We're going to arm both of those. Generators 1 and 4, they are both off because we don't have any power, obviously. Galley shed, we're going to go ahead and turn that to galley so we can get the coffee brewing. APU generator, we're going to go ahead and preemptively select that to on. Fuel pumps, left inner tank pump is going to come on for the APU start. Engine fire handles are all in. And 5, if we already did the fire test prior to you guys going live with me here on stream. APU start, so this is where we're going to go ahead and kick it off here. We'll start the APU. Let's take a listen. Once we pressurize, we still got to close that. That'll be, we do a pressurization check. Rusty C, thank you for the 2-pound dono, man. Best aircraft in the sim. Bring on the RJ. Rusty C, dude, I thank you so much for your support, man. I appreciate you. And it honestly is, if I had to make a top 5 add-ons in Microsoft Flight Simulator, this BAE-146 would probably be my number 2. It is that good of an airplane. Not only do you get the 100, the 200, the 300, you also get some combis and cargo. What you get with this airplane, no joke, the best airplane. Number 1 on my list is the Phoenix, just because the Phoenix is the Phoenix, and I'm Airbus, and I'm kind of partial to the Phoenix. But it is a close second to the Phoenix. That is how good this airplane truly is, guys. Phoenix and the BAE-146 are comparable airplanes, and you actually get more variants with the BAE-146. So someone who's not partial to the Airbus might even put the 146 in the number 1 slot. But I don't know how, like how is PMDG comes into play. Man, for what you get, I still think the BAE-146 beats the PMDG out of the way. It's that good of an airplane. Mr. Martini, I've been trying to talk him into flying this airplane since it came out. Maybe we're going to have a petition, you know. All he has to do, if he can fly the Mad Dog, he can fly this airplane. This airplane is much easier to fly than the Mad Dog. He can do it. Just we gotta have to get him on the checklist game, which I know he's not very fond of. All right, APU is started. Let's go ahead and check. We are up and stable. That is good. TGT is stable. APU air and pack. So we're gonna get the APU air on, and we're gonna get the packs on. While I'm here, I'm also gonna turn the recirc fans on. Landing gear indicators are down in 3. Green MWS, which is our master warning system. We're gonna go ahead and do a little test. There's all our lights. Boom. We're gonna pull it back out. Reset, clear the caution. Overhead enunciators tested and armed. Cabin emergency lights, they are going to be up here. So we're going to go ahead and arm them. Ground test, we're going to skip that. Alright, this is where we're actually going to close the hydraulics. So we're going to do our hydraulic testing here on the ground. So DC pump, that's coming on. Yellow pressure rise, which it is rising, good. And now we're going to go AC, pump, and PTU. On and on. Look at this, pressurizing. And look, the speed brake is closed. We're going to make sure this pressurizes. So tick, tick. Now we could leave these on. I'm going to turn this off right now, since we're sitting here on the ground, but we're going to go ahead and close those off. Flight deck emergency lights, we're going to arm those as well. That's going to come right here. We're going to arm those. Oxygen mask, 100% flow, and the main valve, which is actually over here next to my first officer. We're going to go main valve on. You can see it pressurized right there. Beautiful. Oxygen mask, 100% flow, check. Main valve is done. Our B4 or safety checks are completed. So now we're sitting on the ground, and we're going to continue to load up the airplane the normal way. So I'll get some of these chat messages here before we get lost in this. I love the 4 engines. Speedbird, you and me both, man. Check out these 4. It's a Mini 747, dude. It's a Mini 747. The WhisperJet, indeed. All right, let me power up a couple other things here that aren't really on that checklist. We're going to go on. We're going to get that powered up. I'm going to come to, this is my IFR view. We're going to be using this later. Let's come on down here and let's set up a couple things here in the transponder. We're going to put you in standby for now, but I also just want to squawk 2000 for VATSIM. 2000 is set, and we'll go ahead and get the yaw dampers 1 and 2 on. That is good. And then we'll go ahead and get our radios on. That was the transfer button, 1 and 2, and we should be on 22.8. I'll flip that over. Boom, 22.8 for Unicom. That is on. I don't think we have terrain display, do we? Let's zoom it out. Let's turn this on. I'm curious. 15 is all the way up. Put it in map mode. Oh, look at that. We actually might have some terrain display. I'm going to leave that on right now. That's not radar. That's just terrain display. So we'll see what happens a little bit later. Okay, our airplane is powered up now. One other test I'm going to do here before we get going is our... What is this thing called again? Can't remember. I'll think about it. The TMP, thrust mode panel, mode select panel. It's we're powered on. We're going to run through a test. Make sure we get all the annunciators and all of the buttons there. And we are not going to be flexing, so basically we're going to run this down to 0C. And we'll go ahead and, I didn't mean to run the second test, and we'll power it off. TMS, thank you, TMS. TMS set to takeoff. Okay, with that done, now we're going to take a look at our flight plan, and then we'll start boarding. It shouldn't take long to board, so I want to go over our flight plan. So let's come over here. Let's look at our charts page. We're going to be departing Denver. The winds are out of the north, so we'll probably go 3-4 left for departure. The departure procedure that we are on, since we are a non-RNAV aircraft, is going to be the Rockies 5. So we are non-RNAV capable. We don't even have RNAV on board the airplane today. So the Rockies 5 departure, basically it's going to be a vector departure to intercept the 274 to the Zimmer intersection. Now, should I put this on, is this night mode? Oh, there's our aircraft position. Well, we won't cheat. We're going to try not to cheat with this one. But what we can tell, I don't know if you guys can read that, 274 outbound to Zimmer, and then we need to pick up the Kremlin, I'm sorry, we're going out to Red Table, the Red Table VOR, which is 113.0. So we got 2 VORs and 2 courses we need to dial up. So let's do that first. The first VOR we're going to track outbound is 17.9er. So let's go ahead and put 17.9 in our nav 1. That'll be first and foremost. 17.9. And you can see it's already tuned in. 2.5s are in use today. Well, there's no ATC on. We'll check. We'll see if we can get 2.5. That'd be straight out. Might even be better. We'll check with the ATIS here in a minute. So we're going to take the 17.9 to Red Table, which is 13.0. So in nav 2 or the standby, I'm going to put 13. Oh, I'm going to put 13.0 in the standby on my side, which is VHF 1. I'm going to go back to the active, and then I'm also going to put VHF 2 active 13.0. Now let's dial in some additional courses here. Our first course outbound is 274. So let's select course 274 for nav 1. That's going to be our outbound. 274 is set. And then we're eventually, once we hit Zimmer, we need to track inbound, or I keep saying Zimmer. Oh, wow. No, I got the wrong course, too. It's going to be 253 to Connor and 243. So 253 and 243. I messed that up. That's why we double check. 253 is our first course, and 243 inbound to Red Table is our second course. So I've got both courses already dialed up here. We've got 17.9 in the active with 13.0 in the standby. We have 13.0 in the active number 2. Our top altitude for today's flight with no ATC on, we're going to take it up to flight level 220, which is, it's going to be quick. We're going to be up and down. Dial in 220, and then we're going to worry about arming all that later. Captain Geo, good to see you, my man. How's it going, dude? 37 months of support, Captain Geo. Those wings are looking mighty fine on you, man. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you have a good rest of your week. And thanks for supporting the channel, Gio. Appreciate you, man. Runway 25 and 34 left. All right, well, let's depart. I want to depart 34 left because it'll give us more time to climb. Thank you, AJ. Appreciate you, man. All right. 17.9, 13.0, 253, 243 is set. Top altitude is set. Let's hit the magic barrel ref key. Boom, 3001 is set. All right, so we can see our departure. We're going to go here, then here to Red Table. From there, now we start looking at our Aspen approach charts. Now, there is no arrival procedure into Aspen. The last I checked, winds were 360, or pretty much straight out of the north at about 5 knots. A lot of guys elect to land 1.5. I personally was always fond of just doing the circle, taking the headwind, using the performance, and landing on 3.3 if the visibility obviously was there. Now, the Loke DME Echo, which is the approach we're going to fly, this thing is spicy, guys. This approach right here is a no-joke approach. A lot of you are probably familiar with the Innsbruck approach, that circle to land. This one is not all that different, and matter of fact, you might even be tighter into the canyons on this approach. So this approach, I don't think I've ever done it on stream. I don't think I've ever done the circle. I know we've landed on 1.5 in the Phenom and X-Plane 12. But when you circle for 3.3 here in Aspen, it is tight. And at one point, I think you're only about 300 feet above terrain as you come across this hilltop here. So I hope we get to do the 3.3 circle. Let's take a look at our ATIS real quick since we're out here. Let's go to OFP METARs. Right now, Denver 3001. 330 at 3, perfect. Basically nil. Winds 350 at 5 right now. That looks good. Perfect visibility 1.4. Excellent. Temperature is 15 or almost 14 C, so it's not crazy warm, but as it warms up, you're definitely going to have to take into account the high density altitude. Speaking of which, let's go back to our charts. Look at our airport elevation over here. We're looking at 7,800 feet. Just call it 8,000 feet, guys. We're landing at 8,000 feet field elevation. You throw 15C up there, the airplane is performing like it has a much higher altitude, meaning that the performance, whether that is your control, basically the responsiveness of the controls, depending on your speed, really is going to be minimized. It's going to feel much more dampened, slow to react, slow to respond. You got to be real gentle on the controls, especially at high gross weights. And most importantly is going to be your true airspeed coming across the ground. So your true airspeed is going to be much higher when you do an approach at 8,000 feet. True airspeed's up, your ground speed's going to be up. If your ground speed's up, guess what? Your landing roll is going to be up too. So floating, don't want to float, you got to put it down. And if you have to go around, you got to remember, because of the altitude that you're at, the go around performance is going to be significantly reduced. So you got to be very careful. You already got to be thinking your go around and your escapes all the way down this approach. When I flew this approach for real, literally the entire way down on the approach, you're thinking, what's my out right now? Because if something goes wrong, whether you have an engine failure or some type of issue, you do not have a lot of time to react. You always got to be looking for your out on this approach. So got to stay ahead of the airplane, hope for the best, make sure you're 100% prepared for the worst. So that's what we're dealing with. We're going to shoot this 1.5, this circle. With the visibility the way it is right now, we are probably going to pick up the airport relatively soon, right after we cross over Red Table VOR. Right after we come across this mountain here, we'll probably see it. So we'll probably not be super strict on meeting these altitudes. Once we have visual, we can set our minimum descent altitude. With us today, we should be Category B for the circle, which will give us a minimum of 10,220, which is about 2,300 feet above the ground. We'll make that descent down right about SAG, or just after or before SAG. We'll branch off, and we're going to circle right in this little valley and land on 3-3. So that is the plan. You're briefed, I'm briefed. One other key note here, this red table. Now I know this for real because this is one thing that'll catch you by surprise if you're unfamiliar. If you're RNAV capable, awesome. You go out to Ajax, get a long straight in, and then it's like a 6.5 degrees, 6.59 descent angle. But if you're not RNAV and you're coming across a red table, this little feeder route here, you can barely see it. This is an arrow, but it is indeed a feeder route, 232 course, minimum altitude of 13,400 feet. It's a 3.4 mile segment. Guys, I've seen guys get behind the airplane because they hit red table and they're worried about this 232 segment, and they end up blasting right through the localizer. And guess what happens when you blast through the localizer? You're looking at another mountain over here that's at 10.8. Hopefully, though, you're at your altitude at Jagru, which is 13.4, so you should be well above it. But it is an area where people will overshoot, they get confused, so that's a threat. We're gonna mitigate that by briefing it, and what we're probably gonna do is we'll just fly a heading, and I'll actually have the localizer up right after we cross Red Table VOR, so we can lead that turn off here, because if you're trying to twist and turn and set up radio frequencies after you hit the red table, it's not gonna work. It's too short. You're gonna be out past here, you're gonna be well past the loc, and you're just gonna be screwed up. So that's a threat. We're going to mitigate that by briefing it before we even leave the ground here in Denver. Localizer frequency is 111.15. We'll tune that as soon as we get rid of the Denver VOR. So we'll have all our frequencies set, hopefully, before we even reach top of climb. All right, coming back to our Denver airport, 3-4 left for departure. We're going to take that one. That works for me. We'll do 3-4 left, which is basically Whiskey Alpha, 16,000 feet available. Then we'll just make a nice tight left turn in heading mode and come back around. We could take 2-5, but we'll just go 3-4 left. What the heck? We'll go 3-4. The Rocky 5 departure states that if you're on departure, basically initial climb, fly assigned heading, so it would be radar vectors, which we're not going to worry about because there's no ATC. We already have our top altitude set. There's a lot of terrain, a lot of stuff that can go wrong. If anything goes bad, we're just coming right back to Denver. Any questions? No questions. All right, you guys have all been briefed. Our airplane is pretty much set up. Let's begin the GSX boarding process, and then we'll continue with our checklist. Thank you guys for bearing with me there on that briefing. I'm trying to show you guys what would be some real-world briefing and techniques that are happening in the cockpit before you actually fly this for real. So, didn't get to your chat messages. Let's get to them now. Chris Stupper, thank you, man. Good to see you. Caved in and bought the side stick from his projects. Here comes the long wait. Chris Stupper, man, it'll be worth it, dude. That's awesome, though. Good deal, man. McCollin says, could you please elaborate a bit on different TMS settings, what they're for, and when to use which? The McCollin, that's a good question. Unfortunately, on this flight, it's going to be so short, we're not going to have a lot of time to get into the TMS. Basically, the thrust modulate is it thrust? I always forget what it's not thrust modulation system. but it basically is what it is. Yeah, I want to board both.
Pilot's boarding started.
Think of it as an old school auto throttle. So when we power this up, I'm going to select TO1 for takeoff. Now, this is going to be my N percentage right here, which is 94.8. If I click on this, now it's going to set my bugs for 94.8. Basically what happens is these blue triangles will disappear when I'm 94.8 on the thrust levers, and then it can modulate the thrust in between there a couple percentage points. MCT is your max continuous climb, that's your EGT. You could set a manual TGT for a cruise. Maybe you want to cruise at like a 750 TGT. Descent mode is used for minimum descent power. Sync mode, this is probably the most common after departure and in cruise. What happens is the TMS will sync all 4 of your engines to whichever master you have selected. So we have control N1, or I could select number 2, or N1, N2, master engine 1 or 2, which one is going to slave to. So you could use engine number 1 to slave all your N1s to, or you could use master engine number 2 to slave to that. Basically, it gives you an option. And you can either sync N1 or N2, and then the power button. In short, that's a basic rundown. What we're going to use it for today, we're going to use it for our takeoff. If you were flexing, you would put your flex temp in here. So if we were flexing 40, it would limit our N1 to 89.6. We're not going to do that. We're doing no flex today, so we're doing 94.8. That's the max we can get at this altitude and temperature today in Denver. So with that done, I'm going to power that off because we're going to need to power that off for startup anyway. I'm going to try to fly this airplane on a longer segment. Hopefully coming up. I got my yoke cam set up. I got all the yoke stuff set up right now, so maybe we'll fly some more 146 or some more yoke-driven airplane operations here for the next few days. Well, I don't know how many few days because I got tomorrow off and then I start a 3-day trip again, so we'll see. I'll be gone this weekend, and then I only have a short 2-day break, and then I'm gone for another 4, so I'm flying a lot. But the next time we stream, I'll try to do another 146 flight because I really do truly love this airplane. You like the in-depth briefing, Flight Dispatch? Good deal, man. Well, this is the right stream if you like in-depth briefings, my friend. All right, let's go ahead and continue with the checklist while we're boarding here. So the before start checklist, we'll go ahead and scroll to the top. Departure briefing, we'll consider that complete. Uh-oh.
Good morning, Captain. So hearing the words of mountains, blow through lock, terrain, spicy, etc. sounds like fun. One question, does this plane have bath bags and an exit row? Asking for a friend.
Callie Simmer, thank you, man, for the $10 bank angle check right back at you, dude. Yes, I will tell you, you're going to need barf bags on this one if you are faint of heart, because flying over the Rockies, low altitude, you're probably going to get beat up 9 times out of 10. Even on a calm day like this, just the smoothest or the smallest breeze and the orographical lifting that we have out there on the Rocky Mountains makes for a very rough, bumpy approach. I don't even know. I've only done the approach a handful of times in real life. I don't think I ever did one when it was smooth. I don't know if that's possible. Maybe in the winter, maybe like on a cool winter day with low winds. But summertime, Rocky Mountains, you're going to need a barf bag. So it does have them. I think I hid the cabin for this flight just because of my... Oh no, we do have the cabin up. But see, it messes with my wing views. I gotta get rid of the cabin. But barf bags are located in the seat back pocket in front of you, my friend. Appreciate the support. VHF radios are set. We already talked about that. We set all 3 nav radios. Active 1, standby 1, and active 2 are all set. Brake pressure is above 2,500 psi. Hydraulics are all off right now for engine start. Fuel center transfer tank. We don't have any fuel in the center, but we're going to go ahead and put it in auto anyway. That's the normal position. Ice detection is going to be on, so we're going to flip that switch over there, close the guard. Fasten seatbelt sign. While we're boarding, let's go ahead and do that as well. So we'll go ahead and do the fasten seatbelt sign. We'll also arm the flight deck emergency lights. Fuel quantity has been checked. We've got about 8,900 pounds of gas. You cannot be going in here heavy. We are weight restricted, no doubt about it. I even had a little memo on SimBrief saying that this airplane or this flight was weight restricted, which is pretty cool. That's how it is in real life. Fuel quantity check. Flight data recorder is set. Altimeter is set and cross-check. MWS, we tested that and it's been reset. TMS N1 speed bugs, we already set that. We already synced it for our 94%. Doors and equipment, we're going to hold basically there, close and remove. That leads us into the engine start checklist, which all we need to do is beacon, packs, APU air, fuel pumps, and that is that. So that is pretty much done. I'll put that back there. So we're set up to go up here. Let's just double check. We do have our course right there. And I could put this on. We are VOR1, VOR2. 22.8 is in the active frequency. 2000 down there on the squawk code. TMS is off. And 13.0 with the proper course 243. So what I guess we can also, we can go flight directors. We can do ARM-U. And then we can also select Toga, which is a push button. So TO go around mode is selected with the altitude armed at 220. Perfect. So we're going to hold it just like that. All right, let's finish up the boarding process. Where am I? Oh, this must be leaking. Like when there's no pressure, it just kind of leaks open. That's pretty neat. Looks like they're just about done loading bags here. Honest question, do pilots' crew get barf packs in case they feel airsick? No. No, that's their shirt. Pro tip, if you're going to throw up in the cockpit of an airliner, do it on the inside of your shirt, please. You just don't want to get it all over, and then you can just change your clothes and call out sick. Speaking of barf bags, what flight was I on where they had a barf bag? Oh, the go around in Newark. Yeah, when I told that story about we were going around in Newark a couple of weeks ago, there was actually 3 passengers that threw up on that flight. Just fun fact, I forgot to mention that last time I talked about it. Man, this coffee shop right next to the V1 HQ is on point, dude. More yoke plans, so Transall C-160. Oh yeah, AJ, maybe. You know, I almost did the C-160 yesterday when I came to the office to set this stream up, but I just was so tired, man. We got in so late. I was supposed to get in at a decent hour on Monday or Tuesday. Yeah, I was supposed to get in at a decent hour on Tuesday. I didn't. We got in at the wee hours of the morning, so then I woke up. I was just dragging. So I didn't do any stream, but we'll see how today goes. Maybe it was second leg of C-160. I'm not making any promises, but the C-160, guys, it is so fun to fly. The flight model on that thing is so fun. It's so docile. I don't know if it's true to real life. I've never flown a C-160, but it's very believable to me, and it's just such a fun airplane to fly. I don't know what makes it fun. It just is. We're gonna have to do a stream. All right, boarding is completed. Let's go ahead and start ready to close up shop here. So I'm gonna put the 10.9 page back up here, and let's go to the aircraft. We'll go ahead and close you. We'll close you. We'll close you. We'll close you.
Cabin crew, arm doors and cross check.
We'll pull the chocks. All right, let's get ready for a B4 start checklist. We'll start with the flow. We'll come up here. We'll get our fuel tank pumps on. We'll get our beacon light on. And then let's go ahead and do this. We'll go pack 1 and 2 off, APU air off. I'm going to close the cabin, I'm going to shut that as well so we can hear the WhisperJet start up. And let's breeze through a checklist here. Beacon light is on. Clear the caution. Engine anti-ice. Oop, there we go. That's why we do a checklist. So for torque on these little motors, all 4 open on the engine anti-ice for start. Fuel pumps are all on. TMS is off. Engine start power is in the normal position. Engine start master switch is on. And then we're just going to start 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll lead us to the after start. Let's go ahead and get out of here. What's the seating capacity, Mr. Martini, on this one? I think it's like, what, 70, maybe 70 seats on the 100? Someone might know. I'm sure someone knows in the chat. We're taking 64 today. All right, this guy sounds hardcore. Soundscape is a big plus for this plane. Yes, Chaos, the sounds on this plane are phenomenal too. The sound, yeah, this airplane, guys, number 2 all-time Microsoft payware airplanes. Of all the payware planes available to Microsoft Flight Sim, this is number 2, in my opinion. Very close to. I don't know what makes the Phoenix better than the BAE. Let me think about that. Because if I put the Phoenix at my number 1 spot, what makes the Phoenix better than the BAE? It's an Airbus. And it has a proper Airbus McDo. Okay, so the BAE-146, as of right now, it still doesn't have its proper FMS. It is coming, though, within the update. I've been following the Just Flight update. So when it drops its own custom FMS, I don't know why you would say the Phoenix is superior to the 146. It's hard to rank. It really is, Chaos. It's hard to rank. Look at this guy pumping up the jack here. That's pretty cool. All right, we need to go nose left, tail right.
Release parking brakes, please.
Brakes release, clear to push.
All engines clear. Start at will.
All right, I'm gonna get rid of the cabin. Oh, I wanted to do a couple things here. I forgot to set this up. So I want to do HF antenna and no FMS, and I shouldn't have an interior. It didn't save, I guess. And the VHF. Cool. Do we still have it? Man, I should have reloaded the plane. But there we go. Look at our HF. Man, it didn't have... I didn't have these windows here, or the cabin here earlier. Let me toggle that. Because my views are set for the 200. I know I was getting a lot of screen flicker here. Give me a second. Man, I can't get rid of that. Oh well. Must be a bug. Normally that was really toggleable. We'll go ahead and do a full pushback and then we'll start 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, Kaz, I think we got a bug detected because it used to work fine. So within this latest update, it looks like it's been broke. Look at that. HF antenna though, that's so neat. Flight Model 2 maybe, the Phoenix is weird in crosswinds except for V2. Richard, yeah, when the V2 drops, that'll be even better for the Phoenix, no doubt. Alright, brakes are set. Let's go ahead and start. We're going to go 4, 3, 2, 1. So engine start master is on. Engine number 4 selected. Let's go ahead and start engine 1. I love that sound. And we'll do this one from the, we'll do it from the inside / outside. 9%, and then we'll go outside. Then we'll do the rest from inside. WhisperJet startup, baby.
Unlocking gear.
Smash down the like button for the WhisperJet if you haven't already, guys. Appreciate y'all tuning in.
Tow truck disconnected.
Listen to that.
And removed.
Love that startup sound.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
It's not loud and overpowering like most engines are, but these little hair dryers just sounds good, man. Just sounds good. All right, we got a good start on 4. Let's go ahead and do the rest from inside here. Number 3, we'll go ahead and start. Now at night, when you press that starter, you actually see the cockpit lights dim as it draws power to start the engines. Pretty neat. About 16 ceiling, we'll go ahead. Gosh, I gotta get rid of this. Wish I could get rid of this, these windows for y'all. Wish I could stay for the stream, but I gotta get going to work. Zach, appreciate you stopping by, man. Have a good rest of your day, dude. Appreciate you. Vacuum, yeah. Between 70 and 94 packs. That sounds about right. Alright, so it sounds like we got 1 and 2 started. Oh yeah, you can hear them humming now. Let's go ahead and go all the way down. Number 2, turning 2. Monitor our N2 here is on the rise. We got N1 rotation. I forget what the actual limit is that you're looking for. It's not much. We'll watch a light off here. That looks like where it goes. There's our light off, TGT light off. Man, this is really going to bother me. The stupid the stupid cockpit cabin, or the cabin situation here. I did not have a cabin on my last flight. That's so weird. What if I get rid of the pilot? Yeah, pilot gets removed. I'm going to pull the pilot anyway, just because we're going to be looking over our right shoulder during our circle to land. What's doing the update? Then it's getting its proper FMS in a few weeks. Hayden Super, yeah. So I believe the latest update, or the last update to come, is going to be its own... It's proper FMS. Now, it has an FMS here that you can do all your GPS and RNAV stuff already, but the one that was designed for the 146 is, they're working on it, and I saw pictures of it, and it looked really good. Delta Tango having some lunch, finally getting to watch V1 live. Hey, what's up, man? Good to see you. Yes, Cody, Northwest Airlink, so basically the regional. Masaba, I believe. Detroit to MCI, you probably did, Cody. You probably did. Alright, so we got 2 good starts. Let me just... Alright, let me... thing is, I can't... It's hard... I can't really make a proper view because... Hold on. We'll do this. We'll do it like this. Alright, I'm going to save that one. Let me reset these views a little bit, guys. Sorry. And then this one, we'll move this one to this window right here. That's it. The trailing edge view on this is pretty sweet too, especially when the flaps come down. All right, we'll do that one there, and then this one we'll reset to right about. Man, I don't know where I want to put this one. Try to hack it. Sometimes you can hack it through there. Nah, not really. Right about there is good. Number 3. All right, so if anybody knows Just Flight, let them know we've located a bug in their latest release here. All right, that is done. We are boarded up. We're pretty much good to go. We're going to go flaps 18. Speaking of trailing edge flap view, check this out. Oh, my hydraulics are not set. Wow. Okay, then we got to do our after start checklist. After start checklist. Start power is going, let's see, after start. Start power is in norm. Start master off and off. Engine anti-ice, we don't need any, so we'll go ahead and pull those off. Generators 1 and 4, both on. Brake fans, auto, that's up top. Engine 2, 3 hydraulics. Engine pump 2, engine pump 3, both on. AC pump and PTU are both coming auto and on. So auto, not on. So auto and on. Check. Heaters. These are your pitot heats. These are coming down. 1, 2. They're all on. 3, 4. They're all on. APU air and packs on as required. So we're going to use APU air. Pack 1 and 2. We'll also get the recirc valve open. So how this works in this airplane that's so underpowered, we're actually going to continue to use the APU to provide air and pressurization. Actually, really not pressurization at this moment. We're basically using it for air to the cabin until we get up airborne, and then on our climb, we're going to shut off the APU, and then we will switch over to engine bleed air. Speaking of which, though, we should set our cruise altitude of... what would I say? 22,000. So there's 20, 21, 22,000 feet is our cabin altitude, which is on the inner ring, our flight altitude, and then the cabin altitude is on the outside. So it's going to pressurize right about 4,500 psi. So that is set. Engine air off. TMS on for takeoff. So TMS, we're going to power it back up, and we're going to select TO1, and we've got 0 on the flex, so our max is 94.8. That is selected. Transponder, TA as required. So let's go down here, and we're going to go transponder to TA. We'll just go straight to RA. Taxi lights, we'll get that when we move. Brakes, we'll test on roll. Before start, or before takeoff, check yellow, we'll do that, we'll do that, we'll do that, we'll do that. We'll do all of that stuff. Basically, all good to go. So we'll leave it at the after takeoff checklist. We'll leave that up here. I'll hide it behind this thing. And now we're going to go ahead and select flaps 18. Delta P, 4,500 PSI? Or 4,500 feet. That's what I meant, too. 4,500 feet. Aviator Trev, I have not. There's a new MCI available? Flight dispatch, take it easy, man. Dougal, enjoy your dinner, man. Enjoy your dinner. Alright, so that is set. Park brake, flight recorder is off because the brakes are set. And with that being done, we are ready to go. Let's pull up our taxi diagram. Can I make this full screen? No, I guess I cannot. I was hoping I could make that full screen. Okay, no problem. We'll zoom it all the way in. Alright, we're going to go out to 3-4 left for departure. Denver traffic, Wisconsin 357. Going to be taxiing 3-4 left via Whiskey Alpha, Denver. Alright, we are ready to go. Brakes released. Taxi lights are the landing lights, but in the opposite position. Let's go. Ooh, let's get our fancy dancy. Look at this, 4 engines for more power. Brake check. Pressure 0. Alright, let's roll. I'll be using my tiller as well, and if you guys are interested, the tiller from Cat 3 Designs, exclamation point tiller, is back in business. They're making tillers again, and right now, if you use the code V1, capital V, numerical 1, 20% off discount. So if more information on that, exclamation point tiller in chat. Alright, we're going to cut across and go right out here. Mini 4 engines for short haul, exactly. We are not using an FMC, William. That's the beauty of today's flight. We've actually pulled the FMC out of the airplane. We put our HF antennas in. We're flying it proper the way it used to be flown. Alright, so we are at Bravo 5. Alpha November, Bravo Sierra. Okay, so we're going to make a left turn up here at the fuel farm. And we're going to taxi down there via Foxtrot, which should be right up there. I see it. All right, taxiing in Denver. This thing sits so low to the ground. It's crazy. I'm not used to it. Oh, look, we got little citations back there. So, believe it, that's funny. That's exactly what I flew into Aspen in right there. That looks like a 550 or a 2. So, that's funny. It's probably just model matching for the BAE-146, but... Four engines for short haul. What airline was it that had on the 340? It said on the engine, it said 4 engines for long haul. Was that Virgin Atlantic? That was pretty cool. I remember seeing the pictures of that. I don't know if it was Virgin Atlantic. Someone in chat might know. 4 engines for long haul. It said it on the engine cowling. It was Virgin? Good deal. Alright, we probably should do a flight control check. So here we go. Checks, tops and bottoms, knees and nuts. We're ready to go. Foxtrot all the way down. Man, I wish we had model matching for the 146. Do I have a 4-way? Anthony Teal, yes. I know you can't see it right now, but on my tiller, I do have the little mini, think of it like a little mini stick 4-way hat switch right underneath where you put your finger. And I use that for view changing. That's pretty much what I use it for, switching views around. That way, because, you know, when you're taxiing, you want to be able to see where you're going. So I use that most of the time. I also have a button on my yoke, And when you're flying the Airbus, you don't have a yoke. And if you have the FSprojects side stick or a true Airbus side stick, you don't really have any extra buttons. So having those few extra switches on the tiller kind of help compensate for that. I wish the 146 could separate the nose wheel, so I could see here. I'm doing a little test. The 146 can't separate nose wheel from tiller, I don't think. All right, is this where we need to turn? Yes. Air Whiskey Guy's taxiing slow. Hey man, we're gonna soak it all in. It's a short flight. Once we get airborne, this is gonna be like drinking out of a fire hose. All right, let's look at our checklist here. That's for after takeoff. Let's look at our trims, our set. We'll do a takeoff config. No horn. We are pretty much ready to go. Let's get our lights on then. Let's go taxi to takeoff mode and, oh, not the wiper. Runway turn off lights, and I'm probably off the taxiway. There we go. Denver traffic's constant 357 departing 34 to the left, Denver. Must be waiting for perf numbers. Oh, Team Vodka, that's a good idea. You have 45-degree views bound to the tiller hat switch. Ah, so you can kind of like, you could scoot around in 45-degree segments. I gotcha. That's actually, that's a really good idea. I might have to do that. This is, I do love the Bravo though, being able to have 4 levers here, guys. This is, it's so fun. Of all the peripherals I have, I'm very thankful for all the partnerships I have as well. I have 3, but mostly all Airbus. But a total non-sponsor plug. If you're looking for the most versatile piece of hardware you can get for flight simming, right here, your Honeycomb Bravo throttle, or it's the Honeycomb, yeah, the Alpha flight yoke. So this is the Bravo throttle Quadrant, is probably without a doubt the most versatile piece of hardware you can buy for your flight sim. So if you got a birthday coming up or holidays coming up, you might want to add that to your arsenal. Now if you want Airbus specific stuff, then look no further than Throttletek, FSprojects, and Cat 3 Design. Alright, here we go. I think it was clear left, clear right. We might have to come back because I kind of want to see how this airport looks. I just picked it up. I just picked up the flight beam. I was using the Azobo Premium, and it was not good. We all know how bad that was. All right, once we get straight, we're going to go ahead and sync heading mode, since we're doing a radar vector departure today. So 3-4, and our heading is at 3-4. We'll go ahead and go heading is on. 3-4 takeoff go-around mode is selected. Here we go, guys. Get those, I guess we don't even have yogas in chat. This is as close to a yoga as we could get. All right, let's go. Spool them up 50. Oh, I love these little hair dryers. And here we go.
TMS sets takeoff.
So I got to set the throttle just about where I think 94% is. Lights are out. There we go. Here we go.
Power set.
Denver traffic, Aspen 449, lining up, waiting
Speed alive,
3-4
both
left,
settings.
behind the air with Denver.
80 knots cross-checked.
Whoa, a little gust of wind right there.
V1. Rotate.
Nice and easy. Don't hit the tail.
V2.
Nice and easy. Positive rate. Watch your ears fly with. Gosh, I love that. A little aggressive there on the pitch. I'm going to go to my instrument flying view here.
Denver traffic, American 2219, lining up runway 25.
All right, we're going to go sync mode. Vertical speed. And let's go ahead and start coming over to the left. About 7 degrees, pitch up, a little bit of trim in there.
VFTO, safe height speed. Select flaps.
Flaps up.
Denver traffic, Aspen 449, taking off 3 forward left, departing
Let's
to
keep
the
coming
west.
around to the left. So an intercept heading of about 210. You don't want to sink when those flaps go up. You got a lot of lift devices out there. You don't want to sink. A little bit of back pressure, a little more trim as the airplane cleans up. Denver traffic, Wisconsin 357. We're at 7.8, making a left turn, 210, westbound, last call, Denver. All right, as we approach 250 knots, we're going to go into a speed hold. 250 knots, speed hold now. So that's for my pitch. And we'll go, well, we're not going to turn the autopilot on yet. Come here to my instrument flying view. Kind of hard to see the flight directors on stream, so I bound this view just for you guys. Right about yonder. A little bit of trim. Oh, that's looking good. We're hands off. We'll go autopilot on. Let's verify. So we're autopilot on. We're IAS heading mode now. Say goodbye to Denver. We'll go ahead and go into back to full screen cam. Man, look at that. All right, there's 10,000. We actually can go ahead and do that's off, and then turn off lights. And there's a couple other things we need to do here. Wing lights and logo lights off. Now let's bring our checklist after takeoff. Up, lights out, tick, tick. TMS is going to sync mode. And then we're going to bring it back to about 89%. So I'm using sync mode. Whoa. These are there. 89%. So it's going to sync off my my number one engine's N1. Engine air.
Traffic Aspen 449 through 8,000. Make the
Engine
left
air
turn,
is on.
723,
APU air
right
is
Aspen.
now off.
Last call. Denver.
Packs on. Verify the cabin is pressurizing. It's auto mode. We are pressurizing. And we'll go ahead and there we go. So then into the climb checklist. Altimeters, which are above 10,000 feet. So we'll go ahead and do this now. Altimeters as required. PTU and AC pump. That's coming off. And the AC pump can come off. Fasten seatbelts and lights. So that'll leave us at the descent checklist. We'll get rid of that. Here comes our localizer or our nav course. So we'll select nav to VOR mode. Now we're going to intercept our outbound radial of 253. So you see how busy we are here? I mean, if you had to be dialing in and frequency changing with ATC, you got to have all this stuff set up on the ground. As we make the turn there, I'll sync my heading bug, just good practice. Bring the heading bug around. We've intercepted our outbound radial course now. We're still doing 250. That's fine. I'm going to keep us at 250 in the climb out because
Denver
of the
traffic,
terrain.
American 2219,
I want to
taking
get
off
up
runway 25, Denver.
as quick as we can here. I'm going to turn down V-pilot a little bit. All right, so let's come back to our chart. We'll zoom this in. So we're going out to Connor. Connor is at 47 DME, and that's when we should make the switch to red table VOR. So we're looking good. We're 15 miles from the Denver VOR, so we have a small minute to take a breather here. Oh wow, look, we're going over downtown. How cool is that? Guys, if you haven't already, help the channel out, help me out, smash the like button for Denver departures. You guys like seeing Denver departures? You guys like Denver departures? Gosh, beautiful. All right, so we're almost at 18,000 feet, and this is the first minute I've had to look at the chat here. So, Jeremy, good to see you, man. Isn't there a glass cockpit? Yes, there is. The RJ, the Avro, which is also coming from Just Flight, which I also can't wait for. Just Flight, hook me up, man. If you guys need YouTube people. Actually, believe it or not, they actually tuned. I remember we were doing the South America tour, and there was a Just Flight dev in the stream, and then they actually sent me an updated version prior to being released. So I think this is, I still stand by it. It is probably one of the most underrated, underappreciated, undervalued airplane in the sim. It's so fun to fly. I cannot wait for the RJ, the Avro version. I think it's the Avro, right? The 185 or whatever. And then the Fokker 28 that they're working on too. That Fokker, I cannot wait to do some regional hops in that puppy. Old school. Is this checklist? Yes, Raphael, this checklist comes with the airplane. You just go to the little checklist item up here, and it has the little eyeball there. So if you don't know where a switch is, it helps you kind of learn your way around the cockpit. You just click on the eyeball, and it will highlight the switch that you need to manipulate. So that comes with the airplane as well. Alex 5150 says, Captain, you make this bird look easy. When I fly it, it's like an octopus falling out of a tree. Alex 5150, well, we'll see how my approach in Denver looks before you start giving me that much credit. Appreciate you, man. If you're flying a 777 Honolulu, this is where you blow up one of your engines. Yes, exactly, Beef Jesus. Exactly. Jeremy, I agree. Top-notch sounds, man. One of my favorite sounds is when you're at speed and you extend flaps 18 and you can hear the airflow. It's really neat. We'll probably be so busy on our approach that I won't be able to do it. But all right, standard is set 299er2, 28 miles now. How are we looking on VHF2? We haven't picked it up yet. Let's verify our freak. For red table VOR, it is 13.0. We haven't picked it up yet. Alright, so test works. So just we haven't picked it up yet. Everything is looking good. Your engines will start to creep back on you, or depending if you have any movement in your thrust levers. About 89%. Could bump it up to about 90 here. Real easy on the thrust. And then we'll just do a nice, we might do a TGT hold for cruise, which isn't super popular. I'm going to set a reference speed bug here. We're not going to go super fast. About a 0.6 Mach in cruise. So another 1,000 feet to go or so to level off. I'm a little nervous as to why we haven't picked up red table VOR yet. I feel like we should have picked it up by now. Alright, there's our altitude alert. Oh, you know what? There we go. Yeah, right, thank you. Whoever said that, I totally forgot. You gotta click it to turn on VHF2. Look, now we're receiving DME2. Beautiful. We're 69 miles from red table. You can see we've already got a course, and on our track, we're kind of tracking to intercept already. So we're getting ready. We could probably switch over here anytime, but we'll go a little bit further. We'll let it level off. Whoever said that, who was that? Sky, thanks, man. Yeah, you saved us there. Because now I can see DME2 is actively working. As we level, I'll show you guys a pretty neat trick here, too, for switching over VORs. And it's not the heading version. All right, so as we accelerate here, I'm going to go to this view. I've already dialed in nav2, everything I need to do, right? Do I have to put it on nav1 over here? I mean, I could, but watch this. We're going to just go right into nav2, and now I'm actively tracking the red table VOR, and I'm already in VOR mode, so now it's just going to intercept and fly that course on nav2 all the way to red table VOR. So you don't have to retune. In the real airplane, depending on your SOPs, they may want you to or whatnot, but for single pilot, such as we are today, that really makes it easy. I just put that nav selector in nav2 and it's automatically tracking. So now what I can do is I could flip this to nav1, 13.3, so we're both synced up here, and now I'm going to put the localizer, 13.0, I'm going to actually set up the localizer in my standby, which, let's double check that. Aspen DME Echo approach. We'll zoom it in here. Our localizer for Aspen is 111.15, so let me get that ready to go. 111.15 is set. So, we're good to go. Now, I'm going to set 243, and I'm going to make this go back to VOR 1. nav1, because I'm going to do another stay ahead of the airplane tip here. Now that we're already on our second VOR heading to Aspen, I'm going to get the localizer set up in the second one. Because remember I told you if you blast over that VOR not ready for it, you're going to overshoot. So I've got 111.15 for the loc set, And then I'm also going to put in the final approach course early, 151. Now, in real life, you probably wouldn't do it this early on, but we're single pilot, so we got to put the ball in our court and try to get ahead of the game. So I've got this set up, nav 2 151 at a 111.15. So we are looking good now. All right, we're 52 miles out. We're still a little bit fast. Let's bring that power back. I mean, we're not fast, but I don't want to be cruising over there at 300 plus. So what I'm gonna try to find a nice EPR setting, and then I might even TGT hold it here. Let's see. We're 50 miles from the VOR. Let's look at our departure one more time here, and then we're going to be done with it. So this segment is 59 miles, which makes sense. On our red table, and then we're right into the loc. So we don't need any more of that. Let's just stay on this page now. Now we got to do a top of descent calculation. Let's use some mental math here. So why is it stuck on clicking? There we go. All right, red table, we want to cross that at a minimum of about 14, well, let's see, 13.4. Let's call it 14,000 feet. So if we want to cross it at 14, we're at 22, that's 8. That's 8,000 feet to lose, multiply it by 3. 8, 16, 24 miles out, we should start down. I'm a rookie at this airplane, and it's Denver, so let's give ourselves a buffer of about 4 or 5 miles. So if it's 24, let's start our down about 29 miles. On our DME, we're going to start down. So we're at 44. At 29, we need to start trickling down because you don't want to blast over the top of red table at 22,000 feet either. I mean, that could make for a very interesting approach. But let's sit back now, relax, and enjoy the flight. God, I hate that phrase. But while we have a few seconds in cruise, here we go. Let's enjoy some Rocky Mountains. What is reverse sensing? Reverse sensing is when you are meaning to be tracking to or from a station, but your VOR course is opposite of which you are trying to track. Now, on an HSI, which we have in the BAE-146, reverse sensing is not possible, theoretically, the way the instrument is designed. Old school VOR dials 100%. So to kind of make this a simple explanation, basically what happens when you are in reverse sensing, your course deviation indicator on your VOR is going to be telling you to go left, for example, when in reality you're already left of course. So you continue to turn left, and guess what? You get further and further off course. That is reverse sensing. It's your deviation indicator is telling you to go a direction that will only make you further off course. That will happen when the to or from bearing is 180 degrees of which you are trying to track. So if you're trying to track to the red table VOR and the course is 270, you should have 270 selected. If you had 090 selected, you are set up for reverse sensing. I hope that kind of makes sense. Basically, it tells you to go the wrong way. Can you tell me about the ATR, Super Deal Aviation? We haven't gotten the ATR yet, but we do have the yoke set up. We'll be in the ATR soon enough. I do like the ATR. I think it's a great airplane. I'm super pumped to fly it, but man, the 146 still trumps the ATR in my opinion. Not even close. But I mean, the ATR is $7, so can't really beat that either. Left is right, right is left. There you go, Skyfall. New subscriber, definitely the best FS 2020 streamer and great plane choice. Cameron Rich, that's very kind of you, man. Welcome on board. Glad to have you. We'll see if that remains true after this approach. What's one scenario where you're able to get reverse sensing on an HSI? That's a low back course. Beef Jesus, back course. You're about to enter one very shortly. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I had to come back. I couldn't miss a V1 landing on the 146. Flight dispatch. Awesome, man. Welcome back, dude. All right, we are already past 29, so here we go. So I'm going to go IS hold, and I'm going to go ahead and scroll you down. I'm going to bring the power back because we're already a little bit fast, and I'm going to set 13.4. I know we made it for 14 is what we calculated. I'm going to set it for 13.4. And I'm going to go ahead and we're going to start on coming down. So we're in a speed hold now. All right, so let's talk about this approach. We got to stay ahead of the game here. I'm going to try to get some views in here. But we're tracking to red table. It's VFR. We can see and avoid terrain. I am going to use a heading tip instead of using the VOR track once we get within about 10 miles. That way I can already begin to see the localizer deviation, so we can make a nice intercept to the low course instead of being last minute and flipping dials around. Now, with 2 pilots, 2 crew environment, probably wouldn't allow that, number one, in a 121 world. But with 2 guys up there, you'll have everything set up to just flip a switch. Boom. Once one guy flips over, then the other guy flips and retunes, and boom, back over to nav 1, boom, back over to nav 2. Makes it a lot easier when you have actual hands, 4 sets of hands up there. But with me, with basically 2 sets of hands and streaming, we're going to use our heading bug momentarily as we set up for the loc intercept. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to put my heading bug right on our track diamond. That is our actual ground track. So I'm going to put my heading bug right on our track diamond. So theoretically, if I were to switch into heading mode right now instead of VOR mode, the airplane is not going to turn. I'm not going to do that just yet. We're going to keep coming down here. We need to pick up this rate of descent. A little bit of speed brake. There we go. Just get her nosed over here. We're getting bumped around. All right, so let's prep for the loc, shall we? I'm going to select heading mode now. No, we're not. Not yet. We'll wait till about 10 miles. Now, theoretically, we also would have to have the 1085 back course ready to go as well for going missed. So we got to make sure we set that up too. All right, 18,000. We'll go ahead and press the magic barrel ref key. Oh, where it's not. It's still saying 299 or 2. What do we got for VTAR? Aspen 3010 is what that was saying. So let's go back to the charts. And how about now? Nope. All right, so we'll set 3010. 3010 is set. 3010 out of 17,000 feet. We're approaching 11 miles out. So now we're going to select heading mode. Heading mode selected. Now I'm going to flip that into active. 111.15, our final approach course, which I handy tuned in, was 151. I put that so it helps you remember. You don't have to look at the chart. So 151 is selected. Now we need to have our back course for the mist, 108.5. So on nav 2, we're going to put 108.5 right here. 108.5. I did that a little bit early because now we don't have our distance, but that's fine. Should have went DME hold. 108.5. And the outbound is 303 if we have to go mist on nav 2. So 303 in nav 2. 303 is set. We're nav 1. We got the loc dialed up. We're going over the red table VOR. We're going to see Aspen right after we crest this mountain here. And we can get a reference. Jargu is 13.1 when you're on course. That's a reference DME. So we're 15.6, but we're also offset from the final approach course, so it's not 100% accurate. Gives you a rough idea. We are visual, though, so we know from experience we're going to come in here. We're going to make a nice left turn. And I'm also going to start slowing up pretty much right now. So we're going to speed brake out. Oh, no. Yep. Stand by, wait. Yeah. Bank angle check. Autopilot off. We didn't hit the altitude select. There we go. Autopilot's back on. We're okay. Nothing to see here. Autopilot heading out. We'll just go right into out hold mode right now. 13.2. We're a little bit low. Rip. Look at us getting absolutely rocked right now, though. All right, so Aspen's going to be right down there. So, crucial mistake. When you dial in your new altitude, make sure you set the arm button. I did not arm the altitude there. All right, after we get ready, we're going to set our minimum circle for us is going to be 102 or 10,200. So I'm going to dial in 10,000.
2,500.
Start hearing that call out when you're this far off. It's pretty unnerving. 10,200. Altitude is armed. No, I don't want you to start down just yet, though. I'll hold back to altitude mode here. We're slowing down, 200 knots. All right, here we go. Start the turn. We're heading over. Probably going to have a little bit of an overshoot. And localizer armed. And localizer captured. Airplane's going to do a little S-turn here probably. Let's spring our heading bug over. We're going to go IAS hold as we slow down right about now. And we're going to arm you. A little bit of speed brake. And we're going to start coming down. A little bit of an overshoot here. That's definitely pilot error on my part. Watch your bank angle checks. Let me get flight recorder up and going because you're going to want to see this replay. Tiny bit of an overshoot. Man, this is a lot of work. No wonder people don't fly this airplane. Of course, I picked this route. All right, so we need to get back on the loc here. We should see Aspen. There's the runway right there. We're a little offset. We're full scale deflection, so that's not good. At night IMC, you'd definitely be probably going around. On this episode of Air Disasters.
Speed checked below 205. Select flaps 18.
All right, flaps 18, here we go. Listen to that. That's really going to start helping us. RJ is the drag gear, definitely.
2,500.
Speed check below 205. Select gear down.
We're not going to do gear yet. We're also going to get steep approach on, and we're going to inhibit the jip whiz for this approach as we do the circle. All right, we're 800 feet to level off. I'm going to go back to heading mode because it's not doing a good job of capturing this loc. So I'm going to go heading mode. I'm going to manually put it in to capture the loc course here because it's doing weird things. We'll go ahead and stow the brakes. We'll go flaps 20. We'll configure once we start our circle. Here comes our loc. Nah, that's a little bit better. We're at about 150 knots right now. For circling, we do want to be at our VAP speed. All right, there we go. We'll go VLOC.
Localizer captured.
Localizer's captured. We're looking good now. Let's go ahead and see our...
Herein
There-
ahead.
It's because it's at idle.
Speed checked below 170. Select flaps 30.
All right, 10,400 for 200. We can begin the circle. I'm going to start the recording. Recording is started. I'm going to go autopilot off. And we're going to go ahead and turn off the flight director since we're no longer following the flight directors.
Autopilot disconnected.
There we go. Couldn't find my buttons. 10,200. Let's go ahead and start our circle out here. About 120. Gears coming down. Now to circle, you got to be in your category. We are doing a Cat B, which is below 120. We're pretty much right at 120, so it's going to be a little bit spicy. Don't get too low here. Shallow out that descent rate. And we could also spin, for reference, I'm going to spin this sucker around to 330, so I have a runway reference heading. So 3-3 is set. Don't worry about the CDI in this case. We're on speed. We're beginning the circle. We'll go flaps 30 now. Nice knowing all of you. Indeed, AJ. So here we go. We're starting our circle. It is bumpy down here. We're on speed. I'm going to wait to flaps full until we get a little bit past this hill here. When you cross this in real life, you're only about 300 feet above this hill. About a 500 foot per minute descent rate, a little bit of trim. Let's go yoke cam online here. Oh. I probably should make a radio call. Aspen traffic, Wisconsin 357. We're on the circle for 3-3. Setting up for a right base. Aspen traffic. I'm going to shallow off here a little bit. Let's take... Oh, yeah, there she is. I hope you guys have those air sickness bags. Alright, we'll go ahead and select flaps 33. We're on speed, we're stable. About another few seconds here and we're going to start our descending right turn. And hopefully we come out alive. Alright, let's so we go. We're going to bring power back a little bit. Begin our turn. Now there's a tendency to get low. Whoa there. Whoa, that wind is rolling us over. The good thing with the 146 is if you're high, you can really get down. So I would rather err on the side of being high on this approach than being low, 100%.
Aspen traffic. Aspen 449, making right base to 33. Aspen.
Peak and... Oh yeah, there's a runway. We're high. We'll go ahead and get the speed brake out right now.
1,000.
Let's go. That's associated. All right, decent circle, a little bit high. We're correcting.
500.
There we go. We're just a little bit fast now. Now we're in the slot. Get that power back in there. You got the speed brake out, a lot of drag. On speed.
50, 40, 30, 20.
Ooh, don't want to do that. Nice and easy, right on the marker.
Ground idle.
There we
Yellow
go.
wing spoilers.
That was probably firm, a little bit of balloon, but we put her right on the marker.
80 knots.
Man, I am hard on the brakes too.
60
Look
knots.
at this deceleration. 449. Welcome to Aspen, Callie Simmer. Welcome to Aspen. I don't even think we can make that turn off, and I'm pretty much hard on the brakes. Yeah, we're going to have to do a 180 on the runway. Aspen traffic, Wisconsin 357. We're going to do a 180 on the runway, and we'll clear Aspen. Whew, we all felt that one.
Aspen 449, going around 33.
Ah. Sorry, guys. Alright, let's crank it in here with the tiller. Sorry, Aspen.
Don't worry, it's all good.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I lost juice. I lost my juice here. More juice. Come on, baby. Swing. There we go. We'll go ahead and clears that. Whew, that was a 449. Man. We were almost there, but it was so turbulent coming across the hill. I was trying to get her down between the numbers and the markers, and then we had that balloon. But its markers are bust, pretty much, so we were still totally legal. Just, not pretty. Butter straight from the fridge. Yeah, that's a frozen hard butter. We'll go ahead and stop the recording because I want to watch that. Aspen traffic, Wisconsin 357, clear 33. All right. Whew. I'm sweating a little bit. Let's go ahead and start cleaning her up. Since there's a Sky Chef over here, we may not be able to taxi past him.
Sorry, Captain, but I used 2 bath bags. I forgot your warning about the airplane coffee as well.
Oh boy.
But I appreciate you getting us here alive. Lol.
Callie Simmer, thank you for the $10 super chat, man. Yeah, I think multiple people use multiple barf bags on that one. Appreciate the support, man. That one was spicy. We're gonna have to diagnose that replay for sure. I kind of want to see another guy come around here and land on 3-3. Windsock was showing a quartering tailwind when we came across. I did see that, Colby. I'm not sure. So Allegiant's clear. Go down here a little bit further. Brad K, you were scared for your life? Nah, we're fine. I'm not going to do any shutdown stuff just because I want to see that replay in full force here. Peter Green, I heard him say yellow and green spoilers, so that means they were deployed, and I also could see it right here. Any landing you can walk away from. Hey, absolutely. Yeah, 449, whatever it was, you would have definitely felt that. But did you guys see? I mean, I wonder what the ground speed was showing. I didn't even check. I wonder what our ground speed was as we came across the numbers there. All right, we'll take it. Actually, we'll go down there and park next to that guy. Is Aspen traffic? Anybody on final still?
Nope, making my way back around for the Circle 33 over Red Bluff, Aspen.
Gotcha. Should we do a turnaround? Yeah, that was a short stream. Why not? We'll do a turnaround. What the hell? Well, that might mess up the state of the airplane, though. We'll do a turn. We'll go back to Denver. It was 150, 155. That's pretty fast with 146, considering our indicated was 120. You know, we're indicating about 120 knots, so that's that density altitude for you. I'm just taxiing down to this side of the runway too, because I want to see this guy land on here. I want to see how he does the approach. Oh, Chaos state loading. I forgot about that. Yeah, we could do that too. Delta Tango, I was super impressed with landing. Can't imagine doing that with a jet versus the approach speed of a prop. Yeah, coming in the jet's there's no joke, man. I really want to look at that float or that balloon. I don't know if that was a little overflare on my part or what, because I felt pretty good once we were in the slot. You know, we made that turn, we were around the corner, we were a little bit high, we corrected, and I thought we were going to be right on. And then right as we started that flare, a little bit of energy took us up, but we got her down right on the marker, so that's really all that matters. You're not trying to prove anything here. There's no style points here. Matter of fact, we should go over here, right? Well, I don't know if they'll be able to push us back. I was going to make a 180 there, but... Good erp. Alright, let's go ahead and set the brake. Brakes are set. Let's hop out. Take a look for any traffic. And then, well, for now, we'll just go into our replay. Don't see anybody out there. Alright, let's do our replay. So we're gonna disconnect from VATSIM momentarily. Hopefully we can reconnect and we'll see that guy's landing. We'll go into replay mode here. Sail is paused. Let's take a look. That flap lever is what's clicking. Oh no, the gear lever too. Let's go ahead and cycle. Oh, we didn't do the gear yet, that's right. Just Flight has pretty good replay too though. Alright, so there's our start to the circle. Let's zoom it forward. Right about here. Here comes the gear. So this is the thing that's important about circling. Your circling minimums, I'll highlight this real quick. It's based on your maximum approach speed, right? So you need to be configured within your category before you start the circle. So that's why you got to put those gear down a little bit early so you get the flaps out. We could slow down to our approach speed on this one. Time for some airline coffee. Shark bucks. Oh my gosh, Jamie. Yeah, I do use Steam, John. Concord into Aspen. That would be spicy. Look at those views, though. Wish we didn't have the cabin to worry about. So here's our turn. Look at the power coming back. What golf course? I want to go play golf right here. I want to play golf right there. That'd be sweet. Look at that bank angle. All right, so again, another pro tip here with a 146. You can definitely get this airplane down if you need to. Better to be a little bit high than a little bit low, because as you make this round out here, it was got this high terrain all around you. What's your escape route? Right here, you're making just a right turn towards the airport and out towards that direction. Always got to be thinking about our escape. Look at that turn. What is that football field? Aspen somethings. Aspen skiers? Are they really the skiers? That's semi-embarrassing. Oh, look, there we go. So we made the turn. We knew we were high. Speed brakes out. Normally you wait till about, what, 50 feet for that? Or 500 feet? It was about the right time anyway. Got the speed brakes out. Look at it coming right back down.
Pull up.
That's replay alerts there. And we're definitely in the slot there.
Pull up. Pull up.
Right on speed. 156 over the ground. Let me pull this out. There we go. So here we go. We're coming down for our landing. Ooh, it was just too aggressive. Yeah, it was just too aggressive. A little bit of Airbus flare. But put her right down on the touchdown marks. And lift spoilers, yellow and green. Decel dead bang on the center line, which is pretty good. So it was really, it might have been a little bit of Airbus flare coming at me there. I think I flared too aggressively. Look at that windsock. Ooh, just a little aggressive on the flare. Don't push the nose forward. Just relax the back pressure, let her settle down, and kiss the markers. Totally fine, totally legal. And the spoilers and all that. With a little bit of a downslope too, yeah, no doubt. Let's watch the replay of the passenger view on this one. Look at that. I'd blame a gust of wind over the numbers. Man, look at that though. Oh, the shadow down there. Yeah, I do have experience with the Piper Arrow. I've got 1,000 hours in the Arrow in real life too. Look at this side. If you're on this side here, you're hearing the jip whiz from the cockpit. That's not something you want to hear. Listen to that. Listening to the jip whiz from the cockpit view. That's too funny. That was right where Callie Simmer threw up again. Indeed. Coming across the numbers. So if you're just watching from wing view here, this is what you see. Whee. Boom, right on the markers though. Love it. Wish you had reversers for sure. Not bad though. Not bad indeed. All right. Let's go ahead and stop that. Let's, oh, hold on. I want to end. Oh yeah, so now we're just in basically free mode. All right, so let's do this. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to set the brake. I'm going to reconnect to VATSIM. I want to see if that guy is landed yet. Oh, he just landed. Oh, no, he didn't. Yeah, he did. There he is.
Traffic, Aspen 449. We cooked the brakes, but we're vacating on Alpha 1.
Oh, now he's just a show-off. Ah, we were just late for the replay. All right, so what we're going to do is I'll throw up the Be Right Back screen, and I'm going to set up for a turnaround. And then we'll just depart right out of here and head back to Denver. Should be a fun little departure. All right, so let me disconnect for now from VATSIM. I'll throw you guys up the Be Right Back screen. And I'm not even going to take a break. It's just going to be 5 minutes. I'm going to reload the sim. If I can find it. Turn around. Here we go. I'll see you guys in about 5 minutes.
This parking is too small for your aircraft.
Okay, we are back. Let me just see if I can do a turnaround state. Turnaround selected. Beautiful. Let me get fly live adjusted here. We're going to flip them. Boom. Hit OK. That's done. Fly live should be changing around. We got everything open. We're turnaround state. We don't need that much fuel. We're going to go 649 and 4,900 pounds of fuel, 70 passengers, cargo. We only have our gross weight of 70,000, so we've only got about 700 pounds of cargo. We're on the ground. We're ready to turn around. Let's reconnect to that sim. Hopefully we're not on top of somebody. I hope I'm not on top of somebody. I think I might be. All right, looks good. So we're back on VATSIM. We've got our sounds up. We're turnaround state. So this makes it pretty easy. Let's just kind of do an overhead flow. Make sure everything is done. That's all on. Yellow and green is set. That looks good. PTU is off. Our hydraulics are set. Fuel pumps are inner. Are we on APU power? We are not. So let's go ahead and fire up the APU. We're on ground power right now. I guess that's why the ground power machine is out there. Let's fire this sucker up, and then we're going to do a quick flight right back over to Denver. Do I need a flight plan on file? I probably do. Let me edit this flight. Flip them. Alright, that works. We're gonna save and generate a new flight plan here just in case. Hopefully we don't have to do that. Alright, new flight plan is set. We will file it. EPU is up online. $31,000 feet. Yeah, we're not going all the way up there, my friends. Let's do 23,000. 23,000 is set and filed. Done. Fetch from server. We're all set to go. Now, hopefully ATC doesn't hop on, because then if we have to follow that flight plan, it's going to be a little bit interesting. All right, we're pretty much set up here. Let's take a look at departures out of Aspen. So let's pull up our chart page. Departure. Oh, I need to load it from here. Let's go OFP. Load it up. Aspen, Denver. Linz 9 departure out of here? Let's see what that looks like. Charts. SID. We're on the Linz 9 according to SimBrief. I'll tell you right now. Oh, I guess we could take that out to RLG. This one's a little bit more complex than this one. I like this one because I want to climb and hold until we climb up to 16,000 feet. But I also don't really want to do a hold single pilot in this airplane. So we'll do Cozy 1 visual. What's that one? Oh, that's pretty nice. Basically the same thing, except from here, then we go out to snow all the way up and around. All right, we'll stick with what we got filed here. So top is 16 altitude. Top is 16,000. We'll set 23. Good afternoon, Michael Nash. Good to see you, man. Thanks for the support, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, we're setting up leg 2, since that one was really short, but it was action-packed and a lot of fun. This one might be a little bit more chill. But same things as before, guys. We're going to set up everything as best we can on the ground. So we got 23,000 is set. Let's look at the departure. It's going to be 273 heading to intercept the back course off 108.5. So let's dial in 108.5 right here. And the back course freak was 303, I believe. .303, that is selected. 303 back course off 108.5 LDA. We're going to be on a heading of 273 after initial heading of 343. So let's dial our heading bug to 343. Yeah, seatbelts on the whole flight, Brad K. Seatbelts on the whole flight, my friend. 340 is right there. 343 is right about there. 343 is set. After we intercept that, we're going to make a right turn to the snow VOR, which is 109.2. I'm going to put 109.2 in VHF 2. And it is on, right? Okay, yeah, so to the right is on. 109.2. The inbound course to snow VOR is 016. We'll dial that in here. Reminds me when the Transall came out with no GPS and everyone went, it can't fly IFR. I know, man. It can definitely fly IFR. This is how flying was done, man. All right, 016 to snow, and then we'll probably just pick up a direct somewhere from there, hopefully. So departure is set. Looking at Denver, let's look at our arrival. And the stars, what arrival did we file? Is the Thompson. Well, we can't do, oh yeah, we can do Thompson 8. It's not a non-RNAV. It's got a lot of altitudes and restrictions on there that make it very daunting. What about, that's the northwest arrival gate for the Rams. What's this one look like? This one looks a little bit easier. We might fly the Rams, but technically we're on the Thompson. And then approaches into Denver. Let's land 3-4 right. We might be able to just shoot a direct approach. ILS 3-4 right. That's RNAV transitions. I know. What about 3-4 left? Yeah, same deal. What about? Yep. All right. So we're gonna be with the. We'll do 3-4 right ILS. We'll star that one. This will be interesting. We'll have to self-vector ourselves, but it is a visual day, so we'll probably just get a visual. Clear ourselves for the visual. All right, back to our departure airport. Back to our departure SID on the Lin 7 starred up. 343, 9100 out to the left. Beautiful. That looks good. Sim brief is pretty much ready to go. No point in. Actually, you know what?
This parking is too small for your aircraft.
Really?
This parking is too small for your aircraft.
The loaded flight plan doesn't match the one on sim brief.
This parking is
Stand
too
by.
small for your aircraft.
Payload limited, max 0 fuel weight. Block fuel 83. Oh, GSX. Why you do that to me? I'm gonna restart Kutal.
This parking is too small for your aircraft.
You are too late. Oh, for your scheduled departure time? Oh, come on. Let's edit this flight here real quick. What time is it? See, it's 18:46, so let's make it, I'm making an edit to the flight plan because I do need to use the lab real quick before we leave. So let's make it 18... Quick turn, 1850. Apply, generate. That's going to reset that. 3210 and done. So now
This parking is too small for your.
I heard the ding.
This parking is too.
Sim brief okay. There we go. Request boarding. Boom. And I think people are actually going to come up to the airplane and board. So we're going to board up. I've been drinking a lot of coffee. So I'm going to head over to the LAV. Where are our passenger trucks? I think they're going to show up. Let me make sure I did request it.
This parking is too small for your aircraft. Boarding requested.
Here we go. We're going to use Sky West. Frontier Express Jet. Who else we got? Ah, here we go. United. All right. Now we're cooking with gas. That's going to be a real low air stare, my friend. I've never used GSX for this style of passenger boarding. I kind of want to see the passengers come up. They're coming on the catering trucks due to budget cuts. Would you? Oh, AJ. Yeah, of course. Here's the thing. I always go to the terminal when I can, just because it's good to stretch your legs, get up and walk around a little bit. So even on a short turnaround, run to the terminal real quick. All right, crew buses are coming. I'll let you guys enjoy the boarding process here. I'm going to run over to the lavatory. I will be right back. And then we're all set to go. We've got the airplane set up. We're on APU and GPU power, so gas is cheap back in these days. There's a doll plugging up the lav. Caleb, don't give me flashbacks, man. Yay. All right, I'll let you guys enjoy the boarding. I'll be right back.
Boarding starting. Crew boarding starting. Your crew has boarded. Is coming.
All right, how we doing? Recirculating fans off. Are we boarding yet? What's going on? Let's go ahead and cabin air on, recirc on. Let's make sure we are on APU power. So let's go ahead and disconnect from external power. So external power is off. We're good there. Let's go ahead and get rid of the ground power so we don't have to listen to it. You guys can pull that. We're already on GPU. Passengers are boarding now. Oh, look, the buses are showing up. I mean, I know hold on, I gotta put my flip-flops in position. Give me a second or else we're gonna roll all over the place. Then we're gonna talk about GSX. Alright. Seat must be forward in 7 inches of travel before takeoff and landing. Alright. Seats are secured by flip-flops. So GSX, I gotta say, every time I do a flight like this, I like it more and more. Initially, when it first came out, I was like, man, this thing is overrated. It just does animations. But I gotta say, the more and more I use it, especially on flights like this where you have, I mean, it's pretty neat to see the passengers show up from the bus and do their thing. The baggage loading is really neat, no doubt about it. And the fact that it's fully integrated with the fly-by-wire, I don't think it's integrated with this airplane. I think this is still just a, it doesn't load in real time or anything, or doesn't fuel you in real time. I don't know. I haven't even tried it, to be honest. But it's grown on me a lot. Flip-flop, seat lock. Man, the 146 flew in a different time. Oh, yeah, Delta Tango. Oh, yeah. The bus has no wheels. Oh, yeah, it does. It does. It's kind of an interesting looking bus. It's that Econo bus, like 3000. Isn't that where they are? Oh, we have a flight attendant up there. Is that a flight attendant? Reading passengers? We sure do. Look at that. Well, that's pretty neat. What a different time, huh? I love it, especially with the mod that automates fuel catering boarding for the Phoenix. Velociraptor, tell me more. Is this that Phoenix to, or GSX to Phoenix? So, is that what that's called? I saw Piedmonter talking about that in the Discord. Yeah, some passengers walk like they drink airline coffee. No doubt about it, man. Blue Bear, good to see you, man. Welcome to the stream, dude. We're doing an impromptu leg 2. Leg 2 back to Denver. I like this view right here. We can see all the stuffs. I might have to look into that Velociraptor. I don't know, I have to look into it. Because it's a lot of fun on the fly-by-wire to just hit load and watch GSX do its thing, man. It is really neat to see that. That was back when they served real food on flights. Key 6, no doubt about it, man. No doubt. Oh, do we have to get another bus, or was that all of the passengers? Let's see here. Still got a few more bags to load. I'm curious, did our cabins... See, our cabin is still there. Interesting. That's pretty cool, though. Watch that guy working. I feel like I'm a construction worker now. Just... There's always, you ever see those construction sites on the highways or just on any road? There's like 10 guys, and they're all standing around watching one guy do work. Maybe that was just a Texas thing. I don't know. No wonder it takes years. It's just a perpetual state of construction in Texas for highways and roads. I know I burned through 2 bags, but I'm ready for the flight home now. Callie Simmer, look, we're going to try to make this one nice and smooth for you. Departure might be a little spicy getting out of here, but... once we get up, it's going to be a nice, easy, we'll vector ourselves for a nice, long visual approach and nice and stable. No more turning at 120 knots over terrain at 9,000 feet. I love work. I can sit and watch people do it all day. See that not in Illinois, Aviator? Yeah. It must be a universal thing. Huh? Good deal, Sky. From Poland. Nice. A long way away, man. Welcome. The IXCG 73 is being overhauled for X-Plane 12. I did see that, Jeremy. Screenshots look amazing. Please fly it when it drops. We will have to fly it. I have a soft spot in my heart for that IXCG. There's no doubt about it, man. I really wish, though, it was... I really wish it was in Microsoft. All right, our gross weight is 73,000 pounds. We're 8,300 on the fuel. 474 pounds of cargo, and that's about as much as we can take. So we'll close the forward door up. We'll pull the chocks.
Cabin crew, arm doors and cross-check.
They're going to arm doors and cross-check. So before start flow, we'll get our fuel tank pumps on. We'll get our engine anti-ice on. Seat belts on. That is armed. Everything looks good there. We're going to go recirc, packs off, APU air off. We'll get our beacon light on. Logo light on, because why not? That should be in high and knit, so that looks good. That is armed. Everything else looks good up top. Our cruise altitude for the return leg is 23,000 is set. That's an auto. Everything looks good there. One thing I didn't do is run a TMS power up. What's our TO on? We are not flexing. 92.7 is all we get today. We'll go ahead and turn that off after the test is completed. And let's start breezing through the checklist. Alright, so that's done. Power off. We'll go flight director bars on. Alt cell. Oh, let's do that first. Now altitude arm 230. Heading is selected over there. Beautiful. Okay, before start checklist, please. Departure briefings complete. Navigators are set. Brake pressures checked. Hydraulics are all off for push back. Check. Fuel sender transfer is in auto. Check. Ice detection. That's why we do a checklist. On. Fasten seatbelts. On. Fuel quantity check. Flight data recorder. Altimeters. MWS test. TMS set. Doors and equipment closed. Ready to go. Before start. Beacon, packs, anti-ice, all 4 on. Fuel pumps on. TMS off. Engine start power. Boom. We're ready for the after start checklist. Let's go ahead and get out of here.
This parking is too small for your aircraft.
Do you still use HF in real life? Yes. Matter of fact, you do. There are some routes where you still use HF out over the water and stuff. Yep.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Just got the pin over there. Okay. Let's go to chart mode and taxi. And let's go to 22.8 for Unicom if we're not on there already. .28 selected.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Coast us, I know, man. I know roads in Dallas that have been under construction since I've been alive. Ooh, there's another unknighted 320 over there. That'd be an interesting departure. Definitely weight limited, no doubt. I want to do aircraft settings real quick. Toggle that. Let's get our VHF antennas back on. There we go. There we go. Now we got our nice HF antenna. We need to go nose right, tail left.
Release parking brake.
Because we are going to depart off of 3-3. Brakes release, clear to push.
Commencing push. All engines clear.
Oh yeah, Steven. We're doing a static. Takeoff. Start power norm, start master norm. Here we go in the pushback. Turn-in number 4. Can hear the igniters in there. That's you in the United? Nice, Joe Murphy. Joey Murphy. Where's the lateral guidance for the ILS on this plane? It is on the HSI. I'll show you here in a second. Hopefully he doesn't push us into that unknighted over there. We got a good start on 4. Let's go ahead and crank 3 while we're at it. So ILS, you're going to have glide slope localizer, and you're also going to have the local CDI over here and the glide slope here as well. So you got it in 2 spots. Brakes are set, clear to disconnect. John Sleeper, oh yeah, the 100, baby. She's a dog out of here. Who wants to fly 747s when you can fly 146? Basically the same thing. Let's go right into number 2. We're not wasting any time. Let's go home leg. Go home leg. I got a... What am I smoking out tonight? I got a sirloin top thing I'm smoking out. I did one the other week. It actually turned out really nice. Since I can't find tri-tip out here. Number 3 is on the turn. Ooh, that's a cool shot. Oh, she ruined it by walking into the avionics compartment. Yeah, neither of them fly anymore. That's a good point. You know how incredibly hard it would be to drive a tug forward with the tow bar attached? That would be incredibly difficult. Gosh, this year we might have to just do 146 all week. No, I say all week. I only got one more day off. Should I stream tomorrow? Should I get? I need to take the boat out. I haven't started the boat in like a month. I just want to fly this airplane more. Every time I fly it, I want to fly it more and more. There's the rotation N1. Start to get a little bit of fuel flow after light off. So N2's on the rise. N1 is turning. There's about 15%. Let's go ahead and light off. I'll show you guys here. We'll watch this one properly. There's our fuel flow. Now your light off will be indicated by a rapid increase in TGT. There it is. There's your light off. You hear a subtle. WhisperJet. Maybe I should just whisper the whole stream because it's a WhisperJet. Looks like we have more fuel. Oh, that's by 100. Okay. Alright, so we got 2 good starts. We're going to go off, off. 1, 2, 3, 4. Generator 1 on. Generator 4 on. Heaters are set. Engine air is going to definitely be off on this one. Pack 1, Pack 2, cabin air, APU air on. Definitely need the APU for this one. We're not running. If you ran engine air on this takeoff, you probably wouldn't clear the deck. So that looks all good there. And hydraulics, DC pump, I believe that's auto and on, and 1 and 4. Let's check it. Start power, norm, set, 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 set. 3 and 4 both on. AC and PTU both on. Not auto. Oh no, it is auto. I was right. Auto and on. Set. Heaters all on. APU air is on. Engine air off. TMS, we'll do that next. Transponder, taxi, and brakes. Beautiful. Done. So TMS set for takeoff. We'll go ahead and power it up. Select TO1, no flex, and then we'll click here. Flaps 18 departure. We're looking for 94.7. Let's deploy flaps 18. .146 into Queenstown, New Zealand would be so sweet. Blue Bear, it may or may not be on the horizon, my friend. M01. Thank you for becoming a member to the channel, man. Exclamation point welcome for your new perks here. Always happy to see new members joining the channel, man. Appreciate the support. Enjoy your emojis and accumulating your pilot ranks in chat as well. Flaps 18 set. Trims are set. I'm going to set just a little bit more aft trim there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we got the brakes set, so yeah, config because the brakes. Nothing without the brakes, and we're ready to go. Aspen traffic, Wisconsin 357 taxi on 33, Aspen. All right, taxi lights on. We are on 22.8. Let's go. Nice simulation of breakaway thrust there. I like that. I feel like we're much heavier than we should be. Let me double check our gross weight. Gross weight is 73.2. And yeah, look at sim brief max takeoff weight here. Max takeoff 74. Okay, so we're legal. Just feels heavy. Brakes released. Here we go. Taxiing out. Flaps 18. Douglas Phillips, my pleasure, man. Welcome. WhisperJet sounds like some ASMR stream. Barely fit on the taxiway here. Man, any livery painters out there? We need a V146 livery. That would be sweet. Just a heads up, BAE-146 is a Category C for instrument approaches. Interesting. It is Cat C, huh? No. What are you? Who are you? The FAA? We flew a Cat C circle. Don't worry about it. 5 APUs. That's about right, man. 5 APUs. M01 says, I've been a long time lurker. I did not know you can use Google opinion rewards. Balance to subscribe. Oh, neat. I didn't know that either. Have so many. Thanks for doing what you do. Learn a lot from you. Hey, M01. Appreciate the support, man. Kind words. Thank you. Hope you continue to enjoy the content. We're definitely going to go full length on this bad boy. We're going to go full length. Alright, so the only thing that I would like from Just Flight is to fix that cabin visibility bug, and then we need to be able to separate the pedals and the tiller. Those are my 2 requests. Be able to separate the axes, because that makes it kind of challenging when you are using the tiller and then you press the brake pedal and then it triggers the axis for the nose wheel. V1 express service to Stapleton. I feel like, are our brakes on? No, brake pressure's released. This is going to be an interesting takeoff.
Aspen 449, taxiing to 23.
There's that other guy. This is going to be an interesting takeoff roll. Aspen traffic, Wisconsin 357, departing runway 33, Aspen. I don't hear anybody on final or calling on final, so we'll get all of our lights on. Boom, boom. Those should have been in the arm position. We got to get our logo lights. Oh, we already turned those on. Wing lights should come on. Strobe lights are on. We're going to try to use all available runway here. Try to set my view up for a I'd say that's pretty close. A little crooked, but that's pretty good. All right, so real quick before we depart, look at our chart here one more time. The Lens 9 says heading 343 to 9,100 feet, then a left turn to 273. Here we go. Spool them up. Hold on to them brakes.
TMS set to takeoff. Power set, flex achieved.
Oh, I don't know why you said flex achieved. Should be no flex.
Speed alive, both sides.
Check.
80 knots cross-checked.
It's gonna be tight.
V1. Rotate. V2.
Don't sink.
Jeez. Positive rate. You're up. Sorry about your ears. Pitch roll. 343 to 9,100 feet. Holding about that V2 plus 10 mark. There's 9,100. We're going to start a left turn now to intercept that low. All right, let's lower the nose.
And Aspen traffic, Aspen 449, lining up behind the United on 33.
United. Oh, yeah, baby. About 270 on the heading. Gonna sync it up here again. Let's go to my nav view. We're going to lower that nose. Right about there. 1,000 feet a minute. Vertical speed, autopilot selected. Heading is on. We're vertical speed heading.
VFTO, safe height speed, select flaps.
Flaps coming up.
Cutting it pretty close there, United. Pretty close. Still made it.
All right, so we're outbound to intercept the 303 until reaching the inbound snow at 016. All right, at 10,000, let's go ahead and go lights off. Kill the APU. Let's lower that nose a little bit more.
Okay, Aspen traffic, Aspen 449 taking off 33.
Here comes the Loke, nav it up. Loke captured, we're turning outbound. 250 knots, IAS hold. What's that? That's APU shutdown. All right, we are navving outbound now, 303. And we are looking for the 1092 inbound right here. So when that needle comes alive, we'll be able to switch over to nav 2. Turn down the sim sounds because my ears are bleeding from the last outside view. Apologize for that, y'all. So this airplane is like a zero... I gotta classify this airplane as like a zero stream chat airplane. Because from the takeoff roll to about 10,000 feet, if you look at the chat box, you are hosed. Alright, so we are getting ice detected. Let's go engine anti-ice on. And we'll start with the inners. And we'll also do the tail, because if that tail ices up, that would be scary. We're in IAS hold. Let's go ahead and accelerate a little bit more, get a little more speed on us. Our second needle is alive, so quickly select heading mode. Start the turn to the right. I'm going to go up here, select nav 2, and re-loke it up here. Loke is armed, and we're turning to capture the outbound radial. Or I'm sorry, well, this would be an inbound radial now. But you see how fast that happens? Look, we might even overshoot a little bit. This airplane, I cannot stress enough, you have to be completely set up on the ground before you take off. You have to have every radio set up, whether it be your nav 1, your nav 2, the standbys, and your frequencies if you're on ATC. Because doing all this, if you were in an ATC environment, like if ATC was online and we're getting additional clearances, you got to be bringing your A game. Oh, but how good does that look? John Sleeper, I agree with you, man. Watching those flaps deploy, it's awesome. All right, ice is detected. We got our engine anti-ice on. We're at 18,000 feet. We'll set standard. And now we can go ahead and set our hydraulics, I believe, right, in the checklist. So let's go ahead and pull that out. We'll verify we got all this. That's all. Oh, sync mode. Whoops. I'm up here burning up my engines. N1 sync. Bring it back about 89%. All right, up, lights out, flaps up, sync mode, engine air is on, APU air is off, packs we're pressurizing. Climb, altimeters, PTU, and AC pump are coming down, so PTU off, AC pump is in the off position. Fasten seatbelts and lights. All right, so that brings up the descent checklist when it is time. A little bit of an overshoot there on the VOR, but we're all right. We are loc mode, we're captured. 20, climbing 230. Let's speed her up here a little bit. So we are going to set IAS. All right, that's all fine and dandy, but let's say we get a direct to the Kremming. What's our arrival? Meeker, Kremling. Let's go direct to this fix here. 13.8. So we're going to do that. We're going to go 113.8. Wonder if we're picking it up yet. We are. So we're going to go nav 1. Heading mode. Do that first. Get the direct to course. Right about there. Loc it up. Loc, IAS hold, nav 1, 21 for 23,000 feet. We're direct to the Kremming VOR and enjoy that view. You can comfortably use TGT mode about 800, 820. Ooh. Well, we're about to level off. Oh, we are still in takeoff mode. I meant to be in sync mode. We're leveling at 23. Looks like we're out of the ice. Let's go ahead and secure the engine anti-ice. Ice is off. Got a little power back. 30 miles from our VOR. We're on course. Gosh, that's beautiful down there, isn't it? Alright, let's do about a 6.5. That 6.5? Yeah, about a 6.5 cruise. Is that Eagle? Or Vale? Alright, after hitting the Kremling VOR, we're direct to Frogs, which is going to be the 025 outbound. So before we get comfortable, let's set up our radios here. Let's get this 13.8. And let's get 025 on this nav course. Which we're pretty close. We're only about 10 degrees off of it. Alright, we're going to go there, and then we got to go inbound and then straight to Denver. Hopefully, we'll be able to pick up the airport and get a... So it gives ourselves a visual approach. Alright, we're leveling off in cruise here. We are N1 sync. Let's go ahead and bring the power back. What kind of TGTs we got? Let's set up a 730 TGT and see where that gives us. We're going to go TGT hold 730. So it's going to max our TGTs at 730. We'll see what kind of speeds that gives us. And with only a few hours of orthophoric speed, you can have a somewhat similar in X-plane, I know. I think that's going to be a little hot. Let's bring it back. Let's do a 710 TGT hold. See, it's going to bring it back. We're going to overspeed a little bit. Oh. .680 TGT. Alright, coming back to a 680 TGT hold for cruise. Looks like it's going to give us something that we want. 10 miles from our fix. We'll have a little bit of course deviation there. It's alright. Let's get the seatbelt sign off for this rather short flight. Back at it again. Don't forget your add-on for better trees. Oh yeah. For X-plane? I know, man. I did see XP was flying the auto ortho scenario the other night where it automatically loads ortho after you download a bunch of tiles and stuff. Interesting game. I mean, I just look at this though. I mean, the whole lighting, the way the airplanes are. Oh, finally get to settle in here. It's not the work required with ortho that puts me off, it's the storage required. That's a very valid point, 530. Because you're absolutely right. The storage required is pretty excessive as well. Alright, there's the to from flip. 025, we'll go nav 2. 025 outbound course. It's struggling in loc mode, which is fine, so I'm going to select heading. I'm going to give it the right direction, right about there. And then as soon as we get some deviation, we'll resync it up. There it is, already coming in, so we'll go back to loc. Out loc nav 2, because we're tracking that course outbound towards Frogs. Frogs is about 39 miles from the VOR. From there, We're going to head over this way. We're not going to do all this. That's too much work. We're going to dial in Falcon, which is 16.3. So let's get 16.3 on the nav 1, because we're going to go direct 2 here pretty soon. Give ourselves a shortcut. 16.3 in the nav 1. We're already picking it up. It's 83 miles out. But we'll play by the rules here. We'll go a little bit on this airway, and then we'll go direct 2. I think they introduced scenery streaming in the latest XP update. I don't think it's something you still have to set up though, right? It's not just like plug and play in the new update. You have to go download a bunch of stuff, basically the base layers, the base tiles and stuff, and then once you have it set up properly, it'll start pumping ortho into your sim as you're flying, right? But then the other problem is all the trees and the buildings are all still out of whack, right? And chaos, you're right, the nonsensical cloud formations. But not to get into another X-Plane Microsoft discussion, because it can be quite exhausting going back and forth. Honestly, though, I come from a different perspective when the whole conversation even comes up, when people are like, oh, X-Plane or Microsoft, X-Plane or Microsoft. And they're like, well, the plane's this, or the flight model this. Visuals this. For me, believe it or not, it's none of those things. The reason why I prefer Microsoft over X-Plane, not that we're never going to fly X-Plane 12 again, is the dynamic environments that you get in Microsoft straight out of the box with default weather, right? And a prime example of this is several streams back. I think I was still in the V1 HQ in North Texas. We were flying Phoenix to Vegas, short flight. We're set up for the RNAV visual, runway 19, and on approach, you could see the rain and some rainstorms off in the distance. By the time we were down flying our final turn, setting up for our final approach there, the rain and wind was over the runway, and we almost lost sight of the runway. In fact, we did lose sight of the runway briefly. We flew in, landed into the rain, and then by the time we taxied off of the runway, the rain was gone and the squall line or whatever had moved off. So for me, when the whole topic comes up of X-Plane and Microsoft back and forth, there is no better clear-cut winner in that aspect than Microsoft, is the dynamic environment. And that is a huge part of simulating realism, because you can have the best flight models, you could have the best graphics, you could have the best airplanes, but if you're flying in a static, dry environment, it is just not realistic. Another point to that is just on my last trip 2 days ago, flying into South Florida, took off a couple hours out, not much going on, just some scattered weather along the west coast. By the time we got almost to the arrival, air traffic control was online, changing our arrivals around because the storms had popped up and we're moving towards the field. By the time we're on final approach, we are right in the thick of it, getting beat up, flying through thunderstorms, not directly through them, but trying to do our best to deviate, and then eventually landing and the storms are moving off. That whole process of no storms, nothing to worry about, low stress, to a ton of storms, new arrival, what's happening to the runway conditions. Now my brain is thinking alternates. Where's my fuel? What do I have on board? Where can I go for a divert if I need to? How much fuel do I need to land now? Or what's our bingo fuel before we have to bug out and head? All these things start being triggered in my thought process because of a dynamic environment that is real life. Microsoft Flight Simulator brings you that dynamic environment for the most part. Now, is it perfect? No. But honestly, it's really good. It's pretty darn close to, I mean, nothing is perfect, but it is really good. All right, so I'm going to set heading mode here one more time, and now we're just going to go direct to that VOR. So I'm going to go back to nav 1. Let's get our LOP course a direct to, which is going to be, oh wow, I love flying in right angles. Is that right? 16.3? 16.3 Falcon FQF. Okay, so let's keep turning. We'll do about there. I'm going to go back to our heading. We'll spin that heading all the way around. We'll turn away towards Falcon, and then we'll be direct to. Do Do you think Azobo should add cumulonimbus? Oh, undersigned. Yeah, I would love to see that. I mean, but they have cumulonimbus. I honestly feel like I've seen cumulonimbus clouds in Microsoft. Is the depiction of the clouds going to be the exact same thing that you see outside in any sim? No. I don't think there's any way that that's possible. But what they can generate is they can get as much weather data as possible and inject that into the sim. And if the clouds don't look the same, that doesn't bother me. But if the environment is the same, if the winds are relatively there, and it doesn't even have to be the same thing. I know guys want to have, oh, well, if the METAR is saying winds are 175 at 10 knots, I want to see 175 at 10 knots in my sim. For me, I don't care. Just give me a southerly wind between 10 and 15 knots, fine by me. So, because weather is so dynamic. The METARs aren't always exactly spot on either, especially as they get older with the timestamp. You know, a METAR comes out top of the hour, 30 minutes in, it could be significantly different unless they release a special update, and then that changes the game even further. All right, loc mode is re-engaged. We're 70 miles from the Falcon VOR. I'm vibing over these views here. Hey, Ron. Good to see you, man. Looks like Denver is landing south now. They are? Oof. Do your level D sims have dynamic environments? No, they don't, Jeremy. The weather in the level D that we train on is injected. They have scenario injection. We don't do any real... There's no real-time flying in the sims. I think the majority of people would be very, very disappointed to get in an actual training simulator as far as visuals go. You should see the cloud. There's basically no clouds in our sims either. It's either clear or some scattered clouds like this. Think like FSX clouds. That's about as good as it gets. FSX default clouds, that's about as good as the clouds get in our sims. Our training sims are purely for that, for training, for flight characteristics, and really not even, I wouldn't even say, I mean, yes, the flight characteristics are pretty close, but it's the performance, power performance is going to be what's important. The single engine performance, the single engine handling characteristics, the yaw characteristics, the systems. Obviously, it's one-to-one systems to the real airplane. Everything works exactly like it should in the real airplane, for the most part, unless there's a sim problem. So that's what our training sims are for. The outside world in the sim environment that we train on is really bland. Missing the vertical cloud flame. Yeah, so I think the vertical cloud development is there. Maybe it's not in the real weather updating, because if you set your sim to have thunderstorms, you will see some massive towering vertical development clouds. But, yeah, I mean, is it perfect? No. But it's still way better than anything you're going to get in X-Plane as of now, as far as dynamic environments. All right, Denver's landing south now. Rip. So what's that? That's going to be 1.6s. RLS 1.6 left. Can I just get a visual approach? All right, let's do a speed hold, and we're going to step down to about 18, and we'll step down to 12. So we're going to go speed hold. I don't know why we're getting ice detected. We're going to set 15,000. We're actually going to put this in descent mode because we're going to need engine anti-ice. We're going to bring the power back. We're going to go engine anti-ice on. We'll do the inner and tail. We'll bump up the sounds. We're getting ice detected. So anti-ice is on. Descent mode should keep our N1s at a 60%, right? Ish. Yeah, it looks like it's going to hold them at 60. That way we can keep our pneumatics going, get our speed brake out, and we're stepping on down. 1.7 right and left. 1.7 right. Flow past land 3.4 and 1.7. Wow, look at that coming down over the mountains. A little bit of speed brake and this airplane just comes down. Ground handling, yeah, ground handling still needs work, John, no doubt about it. But see, in my opinion, even with the ground handling, what are we trying to simulate as flight simmers? Are we trying to simulate taxiing airplanes on the ground, or, you know, maybe nailing that perfect crosswind landing? I could agree there. But to me, having a dynamic environment to fly into and out of still is more important. But yes, you are right. The X-plane ground handling is very good. I should say it's much better than Microsoft is. It's much better than Microsoft, no doubt. All right, reset our altimeters 29 or 9 or 8. Let's do a descent checklist here. PTU on and pressurization. So PTU is on, pressurization is set, briefing complete, landing data and bugs. Yeah, we'll take care of all that. Good deal, we'll take care of all that on approach. Sky, yeah, that's a valid point too. Like, how does your system handle this sim? Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, let's go to where's the Denver VOR? I'm going to do this. We're going to go 17.9 in nav2, which is about 32 miles away. So let's sync it up. Heading mode. Let's get the direct 2 course here for Denver on nav2, which is, 12 thou, let's make it 12 thou, altitude arm. Get our direct to Denver, right about there. Beautiful. Nav loc selected. So now for a backup for the ILS, we're looking for 111.1. Man, I really need a radio panel. I don't need one, but it would make life easier. All right, 111.1, 173, final approach course for 16 left. For 16 left, right there. Cool. $13,000. We're looking good. All right, back to our approach.
Traffic, United 4720, we're going to be turning final 16 right, full stop.
Altitude alert. 173 is the final approach course. We'll level at 12, we'll slow it up, and then start down. Microsoft nailed forklifts driving on the runway for your takeoff. Yes, Mr. Martini, you are correct. That's always been a thing. That's been a thing since, like, FS 2002. Is that a mall down there? Is that a mall? That is pretty cool. The ortho out here looks pretty good. They've done some, I feel like, yeah, I just haven't flown out of Denver recently. Ortho out here is looking really good. AJ, really? Yeah, the trees and everything is still going to mess you up, no doubt. All right, we're slowing up. Ooh, I see the airport. So here we go. Let's do this. We're going to go heading mode to the left. Denver traffic, Wisconsin 357, 18 miles to the northwest, setting up for visual 16 left Denver traffic. All right, there's about 210-ish knots. We'll go IAS hold to send me on down, 9 thou, altitude arm. We're out of the ice, so let's go ahead and clean this up. That's coming off. Landing taxi lights are coming on. Turn off lights. Tail can go away. That can go away. Let's go ahead and start the APU. That's APU. We're going to go over to nav 1. 173. We'll get that set for the landing. Matter of fact, I'm going to go sync mode now. Bring it back. Down we go. Mario, so as far as the flight, and that's always the big question, right, is the flight dynamics. The thing is, X-Plane is better when it comes to abnormal flight dynamics. At that point, it is noticeably different as far as, you know, single engine performance, single engine right after takeoff. In the Tolus, for example, I find it flies better than the Phoenix, especially single engine when we start doing that abnormal stuff. Now, I don't know if that is a sim limitation or if that is a Phoenix limitation. But unless you're doing abnormal procedures, normal flying is really hard to tell the difference on any of them. All right, I see the runway 16 left. We're slowing down. Let's get flight recorder ready to go for the last time here. Jeez.
Pull up. Pull up.
Man, you pop that speed brake. It is not like the Airbus. She dives down. She dives down. Chaos, yes. That's why I'm very much looking forward to the V2 to see any changes in that. Final 173. We're on a right base. Denver traffic at Wisconsin 357 right base for 16 left.
Hello from the OCC. Saying what's up from my work computer and I wait for Outlook to figure its life out. If it doesn't work in 2 minutes, I guess I have the day off. Haha, hope you had a great flight with working brake, auto brake, and flight director's log.
Wrong side, good to see you. Wrong side sim in the house, man. Dude, thank you for the $20 bank angle check. Massive support. Appreciate you. Guys, if you haven't already, tune into Wrong Side Sim. Check him out. He recently did a stream with some hardcore MEL issues and a broken airplane. Wrong side. You know what's funny is the guy that was on that flight, the captain, he was jump seating on my flight yesterday or 2 days ago. He was on the jump. But thank you so much, man. Appreciate the support. Here he is, right on time. Messing up everything here. We're going to be high and unstable now because Wrong Side Sim tuning in, getting me distracted as we blow through the localizer.
Speed check below 205.
Appreciate the support, my friend. All right, flaps 18 selected. We toasted that localizer. We would be violated
Speed check
and
below 205.
hardcore here if this was real life. We went all the way to the East Complex on that overshoot. My word. Gears coming down, flaps are coming down. Definitely hands on deck on this airplane, no doubt about it. All right, we're slowing up. Yoke cam is coming online. We're slowing her up now. All right. On speed. A little high, correcting. Bank angle check. All right, 1,000 feet stable, clear to land. Denver traffic, Wisconsin 357, short final, 16 left Denver. Now, that glide slope's got to be way off. We full scale deflection? What kind of wind situation we got going on here? Look at this crab. We got a serious little crosswind going on here. Stable, quote unquotes. I think it's 500 speed brake, right? Speed brake is coming out. A little bit of power now. There we go. There's that glide slope. Man, it's just bumpy here, too. Whoa, 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 whoa. Speed, speed, speed. We lost it all. This is going to be a smasher. Oh, no. Not this. Go around. My word. Wrong side sim does it again. Denver traffic, Wisconsin 357 going around. Takeoff, go around, positive rate, gear up.
traffic, 94720 crossing runway 16 left to Whiskey Charlie, going to be taking November to Park.
Denver traffic's gone to 357 on the go around, 16 left, we'll make right traffic, try it again. Appreciate you, wrong side, you the man, dude. Thanks for the support. Alright, sync mode. Let's go ahead and start a turnout to the right. We'll set up for a downwind. We don't want to get going too fast though. We'll probably also torch those engines on that because I have the TMS off. I can't remember if it's the 146 or the newer one that you can leave the TMS on for landing.
Denver traffic Aspen 449 turning onto a 10-mile final for 16 right.
Alright, he's landing 16 right, so that'll be perfect. We'll cut inside of him.
Denver traffic 94720 clear, 16 left.
Alright, let's get back down to 7,000. Let's go to 7,000. We're on somewhat of a crosswind here. Yeah, the Pappies weren't visible, but that's not an excuse. We don't know what the wind situation is here. Alright, let's work this out to a downwind heading. Because it is definitely bumpy. Alright, we'll slow down, we'll stabilize here. Still in sync mode. Alright, there's 7,000 feet. We'll do an alt hold here. There's our flags. As soon as I get her on our downwind heading, we'll go like so. Sync mode off. Autopilot heading. Nope, didn't mean on the low punch. Autopilot heading, altitude selected, 250 on the speed. Denver traffic's gone to 357, downwind for 16 left. Denver. Alright. I'm going to stop that recording. I will save it as go around Denver. And we'll set up for our second recording here. Joined at the best moment. Well, if you like seeing go-arounds. Alright, we gotta be looking for traffic too, because he's on a 10-mile final. We are about 5 out. When's the final approach fix? Final approach fix is at 4.8, so we could cut it in now. Where is he at? Traffic that's landing 16 right. What's your distance now?
5-mile final.
So he should be right out there. So we won't cut him off. We'll extend out. We'll extend out a little bit. That's 6 miles. Let's go ahead and start turning in. Set up for a base. So much for a simple second leg. I know, you guys are killing me here. Alright, we're on base. We need more bags. We need more barf bags indeed, man. Let me update my altimeter setting. What is the winds out here? 070 at 8, so it is a direct crosswind, but it feels like 8 gusting 20. Denver traffic's constant 357. Turn in right base for 16 left at 6 miles. Denver traffic. All right.
Localizer arm.
Localizer arm. Let's try this again.
449 short final, 16 right. Denver.
All right. So he's on short final. We didn't cut him off. Localizer armed. Let's go ahead and get configured. Remember, a good landing comes from a stable approach. We were anything but stable on that last one. Go around on a stream is like extra innings in baseball. Nice. Alright, TMS is off. You know what we should do though? APU air on. Let's do that. We're slowing up. Landing lights are still on. Good. Seatbelts were never turned back on. Did we just... What's going on with this localizer? We're high on it again. Alright. That's fine. I see it. We'll correct.
Localizer captured. Speed checked below 180. Select flaps 24.
24 selected. We're high again, but we'll make it work. We're in a BAE. Being high is no problem. What is our approach speed? Right there. Alright, 1,000. On speed, a little high, correcting. We actually want to float it to the end. So that's good. We want to float it to the end to minimize our taxi. Oh, I never started the second recording. There it is. Recording's on.
Traffic, Aspen 449, vacating 16 right. We'll hold short 16 left for the air Wisconsin. No pressure.
Pull up.
I wonder, why does that keep going off?
Pull
Because
up.
we're at 1,500 feet a minute, maybe?
Glide slow.
We're all over the place on this one, man.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Ground idle. Yellow and green spoilers. Brake pressure seen.
Man, made a little crosswind correction on the yoke there.
80 knots.
Roll it out. Landing rate 0. Now we're talking.
60 knots.
Now we're talking. Take that, Denver. Like a glove. That makes up for my 400 footer in Aspen. Breathe through it. Alright, we can go ahead and roll it. We're going to roll it all the way to the end. I'll take a 0. I think we've only had 2 of those on this channel. One was in Toncontin, and I think this is the second one. The go-around was totally worth it. It was worth it, but that approach was still ugly, man. We got unstable, sink rate. This airplane is a beast. Airplane is a handful. We'll go one more. If we take the last taxiway, we'll go.
449, crosses 16 left.
Alright, let's go ahead and stop the recording. Recording is stopped. Redemption at 0 feet per minute. I don't think that's 100% accurate, but I'll take it.
On United Party at the tower here.
What do you say? Alright. We'll clean it up, flaps up, everything else looks good. We'll leave our lights on because we're going to go into replay mode. Denver traffic, Wisconsin 357 clear, 16 left, going to the ramp. Denver. I see an unknighted over there. We'll park next to him. Only 5 miles of taxi to the gate, I know. I mean, for a flight beam, it's still pretty ugly out here. I just don't like this airport in real life and in the sim. It's too much. There's just too much going on. There's too much going on. It doesn't look awesome. I'm going to taxi across the non-movement area. Scott, anytime, my friend, anytime. Glad you enjoyed it. This landing was training for tactical approaches in the Transall. Exactly. Unknighted party near the tower. I see an unknighted guy right there. Alright, we're going to slide into this line, and we're going to go right over here. Like so. Charlie 23. All right. Steven. All right, we got all our lights on. That's normal. For replay. A little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Ooh. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good ERP right there. All right, let's set the brake. Let's see how we, I think we overshot it. Ooh, about a ½ inch too far on the ERP. About a ½ inch. All right, let's go into replay mode. Disconnect from VATSIM. Let's see how we did. Make sure that gear comes down in time. Just subscribe to the channel. I understand that this is a flight simulator. Notice the comms are happening live. It seems that additional feature. Yes, Bo, welcome to the channel. Thanks for the subscribe. That is called VATSIM. And what that is, it is real people, real time virtual air traffic. So you connect to a network and you can see their airplanes, they can see you, and you are communicating just as you would in real life. Oh yeah, that looked pretty good. All right, let's pause it. Let's see if that was really truly a 0. No, no way. Look at that, look at that. See how that nose came back up? That's because when the lift spoilers deploy, it actually triggers a nose up pitch moment. That is true to the real airplane. Got to counter that a little bit better with some little, I guess, maybe more forward pressure on the stick. Look at that crosswind though. Yeah, it was not a 0. I'd say 250 range. 250 range, pretty standard. Yeah, it wasn't terrible. Well, look, spoilers. Look at that. No, you got to counter that. That is so cool. That is so cool. Good job on the center line, especially for it being as gusty as it was. All right, let's load the last one. So I'm gonna stop, and I got to load replay. This one's gonna go off to the end here. Don't worry. Go around Denver. I'm going to load this one and replay it. All right, here we go. So this is our super unstable approach. We're doing S-turns on the final. Professionally firm. I like that, Steven. Professionally firm. That's funny, dude. All right, sail is playing. We're going to scoot this one forward a little bit.
Marine ahead.
Yeah. I'd like to know what the Microsoft sim wins were, because it did not feel like a steady state of 8 knots. We're going to watch this replay. You're going to see it go into the go-around. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in on this stream. I know the approaches were not the typical perfect no-chip whizzes that we like to see on this channel, but man, this airplane is a handful, and it is a ton of fun to fly. So if you haven't already, check it out. And I'm not sponsored by Just Flight. I'm just saying this. I really enjoyed this airplane. I think you guys will too. Easy to learn, very difficult to master. Easy to learn, very difficult to master, but it just adds a lot of fun. I mean, look at us porpoising all around the final here, trying to figure it out. Jeez, what a rook. But I hope you guys had fun. Hope maybe you learned a little bit something about flying in high altitude ops and taking into account some other things. Look at that balloon there. Jeez. Good call to go around, set your pitch attitude, brace for a second touchdown, climb up and get away from the ground. Good deal. All right, guys. I hope I see you tomorrow. If not, I won't see you for a couple days because I'll be going on a little trip for 3 days. Enjoy your weekend and Memorial Day weekend. Thank you to all who have given their life for this country. So that's what Memorial Day is all about. Be an American. That's worth dying for. Until the next time, guys, stay safe, stay healthy. I'm V1. See ya.